Hello, everybody! Yeah! That's right, it's me, awakened user of the Yeru no Me. It's me, everybody. Oh, it's your good friend, the best guy ever. How's it going, all? Yes, we're having a wonderful day today. We're having a great time. It's time to talk about pirates, and you've come to the right place to do it, because I'm gonna talk your freaking ear off, I'm delighted to say. However, okay, hey, I had some plans. Oh, wait, where did that go? Okay, you know what? We're leaving up the logo today. All right, we're leaving up the logo. It's not going to be a normal, hey, on these breaks, you know, normally there's either, we do the SBSs, right? Or we do the road to Raft Tail that's been going on lately. However, today, we're mixing it up. For the first time, we're breaking the conditioning, all right? We're breaking out of our shell. And we're going to have a guest, and we're going to talk about stuff, and we're going to do some reviews. All right, here he is. You know him? You love him? Come on in, dude. Let's see if he's here.
Hey, guys, it's me, Giga. What's up, guys?
Yeah,
What's up?
everybody's best friend, Giga, is here.
What's up, guys?
Hey,
What's
it's Jack,
poppin'?
his boy, everybody.
Yeah,
He's a
Jack
big
his
One
boy.
Piece
What's
guy.
up?
Hey, thanks for being here, man.
Yeah, what's up, bro? Thanks for having me on, dude.
Oh,
Fuck
it's a delight. Thank you for coming. I know.
I love
it's
me some One Piece,
Giga,
bro.
guys. Yeah, me too. I can't believe I actually got Giga on the show. It's just incredible.
I know,
Feels
so
good.
famous, bro. It's crazy. My schedule is so overloaded, man. I don't know.
No
how to do
kidding. Hey, you just came off another stream. You're doing your spilling the milk stuff, so you're a busy guy,
Yeah,
you know?
we're just like illegally watching cartoons on Twitch. You know, it's that's what you do, man. That's just kind of how it be.
Did I tell you my epic saga of, because I was doing Talking Pirates here, I massively put the rest of like all my YouTube stuff in jeopardy because like I just showed the entire manga and I was like, fuck it, I'll put it on like a side channel on YouTube. Which I did. However, it was unfortunately linked to my main channel through some ways. And then when it got strikes on one day, and things were in jeopardy for a while there. It was touch and go, but we survived.
That's danger, bro.
I've learned not to do that. I now know how to avoid such things, and all these episodes, they get censored on YouTube. You know, damn censorTube.
Yeah, it happens, man.
Ruining
But
my
Twitch
good
is
time.
we're in the Wild West right now, so we're just kind of.
Yeah, it's so you guys just watch all your shows directly on Twitch, huh?
Yeah, it's crazy, and
I don't know why they let that happen. That's
yeah, it's
bizarre.
just kind of how it is. I don't know. We saw like XQC was doing it, like the biggest streamer on the platform. So we're like, yeah, if he can do it, we could probably do it.
My
so.
good friend Pokimane does it. Little known fact, we're married.
Yeah. Oh,
you know?
yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
exactly.
Wait. I've got a sound bite I have to play for that.
I'm gonna come.
There it is. Okay. I'm sorry. I don't have the thing set up, so you won't be able to hear any of the sound bites, because I used to have some technology that would like pipe it through so that people on the call could hear it. You're my first guest back, in a while, so I'll get the technology sorted out so you can hear my epic meme. Because I'm famous for my soundboard, Jack. I don't know if you know this.
I've tuned into your stream a couple times. I've seen that soundboard.
Oh, good.
They're sexualizing
I've seen
young
it
girls.
go a little crazy, but yeah.
Okay, I'm glad to hear it. So hey, I mean, if you guys don't know Jack is a long time conspirator of mine. He's been a anime YouTube guy for a long time, making epic meme videos and whatnot. I assume you're just youtube.com/JackIsBoy, right?
Jack
That's your main
is boy,
stuff?
yeah, but yeah, I'm kind of doing like video essay stuff now, trying to mix it up.
Yeah,
But yeah, no, I run Spilling the Milk with my two other friends. We kind of react to cartoons and anime and make shitty jokes along the way. But yeah, no, it's yeah.
And get a
basically what I do.
disproportionate amount of popularity and success for low effort content that I
Yeah,
find
it's crazy.
detestable. Yeah.
That's the way, bro. That's
It is the
that's
way. My
to
good
do
friend
stuff.
Nux tells me that's what I need to do.
Oh
so
yeah, yeah. Jesus
I'll get
Christ.
to it. So yeah, so hey, like we said, there's no new like chapterlet or whatever it is coming out this week. So I figured now that I and you just started like a little One Piece podcast that you're doing as well, right?
Yeah, I'm doing it with Shabes, Caribou Coon.
Yep.
he's like one of the most like crazy people like I've ever talked to. Like all of his
Yeah.
opinions are the most contrarian things ever.
Oh, I
So
don't
when
know. I need to talk
so
to
when
him
I-
about it too. Then.
No, it's talking to him about One Piece is like insane. So I started talking to him about it. I'm like, we have to make a podcast about it. Yeah, it's just called Pissed Pirates, which is, I guess kind of stepping on your territory.
I
with the
did.
talking pirates.
I do
though,
feel
like,
a need to gatekeep. This is actually an exercise in
Fuck, dude.
boxing out the potential competition. So, or perhaps bringing them into my fold. Capitalizing, subletting, that kind of operation.
I see. I feel you.
So, yeah, all right. Well, I mean, I just prepared a list of stuff that we could talk about. Some of the recent things that have going on, and we'll just go as long as we want to. And if there's any good questions in there, I'll keep an eye out. We'll dig into whatever. So,
All right.
so let's just
Sounds
get
beautiful.
into it. Yeah. All right. So to begin with, so we've just finished. I mean, more or less, Wano's like done pretty much. We're doing that whole like post final battle cleanup stuff. Who knows?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Who knows like how many chapters that'll go for specifically. I should go back and double check like what Dressrosa or I don't know Ennie's Lobby had or Alabasta. I think there was like 2, 3. So I don't think it's gonna be that long until we're out of here. I guess actually this is more of a end of Long Ring Long Land situation with.
Yeah, it's just kind of like the aftermath. I
Yeah.
think it'll go for a couple of chapters. I don't know how
Yeah.
long, but
I mean, of course, I'm mostly interested in like all the insane amounts of lore that has been crammed onto Wano specifically, and like no other island. So it could go for a good while if they.
it could be like 20 odd chapters or something. Just from the sheer amount of just like sort of plot twist they added in the last chapter, like Oda added, like
What
with Momonosuke's-
refresh my memory? What
like
actually wait,
Momonosuke's grandfather, like what
Oh,
that
yeah.
has to do with everything.
that fucking
Just-
guy still being alive?
Yeah, and just the poneglyph being there.
Oh,
just
and you know
kinda-
what? I'm sorry. The chat is correct. We forgot a staple of the stream, which is our gambling addiction maintenance. I have to begin a gambling poll. So, all right, here's the we always vote. Is the chapter Goda or is it Hakta? So tell you what.
Hakta.
Yes. Tell you what. Let's decide this stream. Okay, it will be, is Jack himself? Is Jack written by Goda or is Jack Hakta on this stream? Are his opinions Goda or Hakta?
Are my opinions written by an overworked Japanese man? Let's see. Let's see
Hey,
today,
he
guys.
is on
Let's-
vacation. I consider him deeply underworked right now. He is not putting in nearly enough time.
You
All
think
right.
he ain't working on his vacation?
However hard he's
He's-
working, he should double, triple,
He should
quadruple
double,
that.
triple it. you
That's
know?
what I
Yeah,
think.
exactly.
Okay. All right. Here we go. So, all right, everybody. So let's vote. So we're voting on is Jack Goda or Hakta. All right. Specifically, his opinions. You know what? All right. We'll
Understandable.
put in a third option. We'll put Jackta. It might be
okay.
Jackta as well. All right. You got 30 minutes. Okay, everybody, go ahead and vote. Gamble your
imagine-
lives away.
Imagine having the same name as the biggest jobber in the series.
Oh
Man.
no, he's gonna
I was
come back.
disappointed, bro. When they
He's
introduced
gonna
Jack, I was-
awaken. They're all gonna awaken. They're all gonna come back all at once. It's gonna be Beast Pirates round 2. So
Oh,
don't
God.
you know?
Oh, yeah,
don't
they're
don't
definitely
count your
gonna come
chickens
back.
before they hatch. I'm excited for it. Oh, and you know what? Real quick, I just saw a couple people sub. Let me just double check those. Give them their soundbite due.
Just shout out.
As I do. Yep. Okay, where is that? Recent events. Here we go. I'm pretty sure Takuto was one. Let me see here. Okay, Takuto. Hey, thanks, buddy. You get the easy money. And Captain Squishy. Thanks, buddy. Easy money. That's easy money. All right. Okay. All right. With that out of the way, my duties are complete. Okay. Hey. So I say all that about the Wano being done because it's a good time to review. It's with a lot of Wano, and Wano was the capstone to basically like the Kaido like Yonko arc that sort of began in like Punk Hazard. You could maybe say it sort of began in like Fishman Island at the end with like the Big Mom stuff, or you could even say in Marineford because Whitebeard is a Yonko, and that's when they started
guess.
doing. I don't know, whatever.
I think that's a stretch. but
That's
yeah,
a
yeah,
stretch.
I
It's
guess-
really more like I think kind of end of Fishman Island is actually kind of a good time.
Yeah,
to,
with the Big Mom.
yeah,
the
since they
crate or
start to
whatever.
actively
Yeah,
show
yeah,
up.
yeah.
Yeah. But so it's been like the end of Wano now is kind of the as Animatic and people are saying here, it's been like 10, 11 years of this one arc.
Yeah, it's insane.
It is insane, and other arcs
crazy.
are a lot shorter than this. And all this is to say that like expectations were real high, and a lot of things were needed, and like Kaido was the big villain of this arc. And, you know, the lore dump we kind of still haven't gotten. We're getting bits and pieces, but we need kind of the big stuff to come. And so there was just a lot of expectations put on it. And, I don't know. There's a sentiment
Kaido's been the goal.
Yeah. Since
Punk Hazard,
Punk
dude.
Hazard, that's
like
right. That's
he's
right.
been building up to that for whatever odd years. Like,
all right, let me just let's get into that first of all. Okay, Kaido is now, like, if he's not dead, he's, like, in retirement, at least for a while. Like, it's kind of a funny question. Like, literally, where are Kaido and Big Mom? They might be dead, maybe?
Aren't they in, like, a volcano or something?
We last saw them, but then it erupted, so, like, it would make a lot of sense if they got, like, blasted out or something, you know, like, and Team Rocket blasted far away or something. Like, who really knows what they're up to? And, like, nobody dies in One Piece, right? So we just don't know. We just don't know.
They're gone. They're dead.
They're gone for the purposes of the story. That much is without question.
Yeah, I think we can assume they're dead, but
so on that point, okay, I don't know. I assume, because you're a man of at least somewhat decent taste, that you were a fan of Whole Cake Island and Big Mom's backstory specifically.
Oh, dude, Big Mom's the day that chapter came out, man, I read that shit like 5 times. Like, give me chills.
I couldn't believe it. I could not believe Oda
I had to
there.
reread it because I didn't believe what happened at the end of it. I was taken aback. Like, so, like, it's so insane.
And it was that perfect balance that Oda goes for so well of really goofy and, you know, fairy tale-esque, which a lot of, you know, One Piece feels inspired by or whatever, with, you know, like, kind of just absolutely horrific or really dark or twisted or just serious, like with stakes. Like, Big Mom devoured all her friends and family, basically, as far as we know. Bro. She ate them all and gained she
became the Big Mom, man.
And she became the Big Mom. That's how it happened.
The Big Mom. That's what we gotta do.
So, Big Mom, basically, I think a lot of people agree that Big Mom was really well written. And her backstory was really satisfying. And then the way that her whole crew was constructed really kind of brilliantly, like, played off this, like, fucked up idea of, like, how a family should be. And Katakuri is, like, the perfect foil because he was on the receiving end of, like, the negative, you know, with Flampe. How there's all these expectations on him. He's a little bit of a soft boy, a little bit of a squishy man with feelings, and he just wants to have his merienda and eat some donuts without being judged all the time, as we all do. He, despite being, like, the powerhouse and, like, the central pillar of the crew, aside from Big Mom, he's still got, like, whatever. There was, like, darkness to the family, which reflects Big Mom's personality and her selfishness and her whole fucked up worldview, and her just, like, cynical, dark way of being. Okay, great. All this is to say, there's a consistent character for Big Mom that kind of bleeds into the crew, and it was just amazing. It was just, like, such the most out of nowhere brilliant arc that I did not expect Oda, because I was starting to get a little doubtful that we'd get some really amazing stuff, you know. But he did it.
Well, it's also a bit of like a even in the way the story was going. We were never really supposed to go to Whole Cake, right? Like, it was the whole goal.
Right. We could have avoided entirely, you know.
It's almost like an obstacle we just had to face out of nowhere, and it ended up being probably one of the best. That
could have been really annoying, but it was brilliant and, like, the best part post time skip without question, in my humble opinion.
I don't know. I even if Dressrosa is extremely messy, I just think the highs of Dressrosa and all the new characters introduced, even if, like, the structure of it is so messy. We're jumping between every single character, and he doesn't know how to balance it. And I'm having a headache reading it week to week.
And Dressrosa was kind of the arc. It had already been happening where Oda, he seemed to solidify this thing that I really don't like him doing. And he doesn't do it all the time or, like, 100% commit to it, but where I feel like he's, like, used up the main cast, so he feels the need to bring in side characters, which I just don't think. I think he's shooting himself in the foot by doing so. I think there's tons of ground. I mean, guys like Frankie have arguably had, like, one good fight ever, with like his first fights back in Water 7 or whatever, and whatever he's had, like, a couple. Everybody likes them Senor Pink fight.
Like the Senior Pink.
And again, that fight is great, like, thematically, even though I would argue, I don't know, it's kind of like an out of nowhere thing for Frankie to be, like, he's always been like manly. Okay, not to overanalyze one specific fight there. It's the point is just like I want Oda to dig more into stuff like Frankie and I don't know, like Nami hasn't had a great fight in forever. There was a great opportunity for Nami and Usopp to have a great fight in Wano that for some reason we just didn't do, and we had Big Mom just defeat Ulti and Page One for no reason.
Yeah,
don't know what that was about.
It's really weird the sort of fights he decided to give, like in Wano specifically. Like Raizo got his own fight.
Well, Raizo got the joke fight, which
he got the joke fight.
I
but
assume
like,
that was a joke. It felt like a joke.
Well, we didn't see much of it, so
Yeah.
it's kind of a joke, and he's kind of like a joke character because we see him like 5 fucking chapters the whole story.
Yeah.
But it's like Usopp and Nami are just kind of running around the entire arc and they're doing nothing. Like I was definitely disappointed by that too. And I understand why a lot of people are just extremely disappointed by Wano in some aspect.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed in some aspects, but just the pure scale of the story that he had to put forward, like all the setup and everything, I think he did a pretty good job. Even if the Kaido backstory, I think that's what you were getting
That's
to.
where I'm going to,
Kaido,
yeah.
Yeah, the Kaido backstory being just a little underwhelming. Like, you got one chapter of just kind of reiterating what we already knew about Kaido. Him being really strong and he can't die. Like, we're kind of just shown that.
And then he just does. And then he just does for
and then he just does.
reasons I continue to not fully understand, other than I guess Kaido was wrong. I guess strong haki in combination with broken devil fruit powers. That is how you win. Yeah.
God man, yeah.
Indeed.
The fruit that you can't pronounce the form, whatever, but yeah.
Hey, we say Nika proudly on stream.
Okay.
We do. It's all right. So we haven't gotten banned yet. So
okay.
Besides, we drop hard N-words on this stream all the time. We will say Natehead, and no one will take that word away from us. That's our word. So we're a lot of Nateheads in this stream, you know.
Understandable.
Okay. Well, okay. So let me dig into that a little further, because my depths of disappointment with Kaido, I don't feel have been sufficiently articulated here. Because
okay.
Let me. Do you agree with this statement? There's a common thing that we say on this show about Kaido, which is that like his best moment was his introduction, and ever since then it's been like a scramble to like get back, because it was the suicide, right? It was the falling off the Sky Island. That both showed how strong that he was, which is insanely strong. He could survive that. And 2, that he's just suicidal. And again, it's just that Big Mom was right there and was so like thoroughly written and had all this great theming that like tied into the whole arc and blah blah blah, all this stuff. And then there's Kaido, who when he was introduced was shown to be suicidal, and there was some mention throughout that it was like he wants death to complete a person. He thinks that's how you do. We can infer that there's some desire to like die honorably because I don't know. Like now we saw his flashback that he was raised in like a war-torn area or something. Okay, that's fair.
Built like that, yeah.
I don't know. I feel like when people say that like, oh, I love Kaido so much, like their imagination is filling in most of the detail there.
Yeah.
Like literally, why?
No, for sure.
Where did he get this idea that like death completes a person? I still don't know. And I would really like to know. And I mean, to me, the worst case scenario is that Oda is actually holding back some of this, maybe on purpose, maybe just because Wano was overstuffed, he felt he needed to. And so he's gonna like with the Rocks pirates, when we inevitably get like a bit more Big Mom and Kaido, you know, with the Rocks and the rest of the guys, that like, oh, maybe then we'll learn more about Kaido. But that would be too little. His arc is over, you know. I would just be, even if that happened, I'm saying I would still be annoyed by that. So
yeah, it seemed like this would be the time to flesh out the character. It's literally his island; he owns it.
Yep.
We kind of got a whole fight with it. I understand that. We could get more backstory later on, but I feel like that would be more focused on Rocks and like Roger. And
again, Big Mom is right there. Big Mom is right there. Had such an amazing backstory, like so perfect. I mean, hey, if you want my little cynical analysis, I think Oda just got hopped up on Wano wank or Japanophile syndrome and just got a little distracted and kind of forgot to characterize his character, because got to talk about how samurai strong a little bit more. Even though, ironically, I would actually have loved a bit more of the actual Japan stuff. To me, it was a bad idea to combine the Wano arc or the Japan arc, which was always going to be a wank fest because that's how these Japs go, versus combining that with the Kaido arc, and that's like two separate arcs clashed into one thing, And so the biggest complaint everybody has about Wano is that it's just overstuffed. I don't know, man. I think he talked himself into a corner there, and like the things like Nami and Usopp seemingly getting like totally robbed of what could have been like a really great fight for like no reason. It felt like,
yeah, it felt really so weird because they set up Ulti as this like and Page One as these kind of, because they're set up earlier as these sort of funny side characters, like Ulti could fight up against Usopp or something, or Page One. It was clearly set up in that sort of way, but it was weird. It was definitely a little odd because I think he just maybe Oda set up made a structure so big with so many different characters that he just had to cut some stuff. I imagine that's probably what happened.
But I mean, that's well, you know what? No, sorry. Finish your thought.
No, I imagine like in all actuality, Nami and Usopp can get stuff in another arc. They're going to Elbaf, I'm sure.
But how many arcs have we been waiting for fights for these characters? So many. It's been like 15 years in real life.
Nami did a couple things in Whole Cake. She did a couple. She got her funny cloud.
I like the cloud.
A couple things going down. She had a little bit. She had like one chapter in Wano where she did something.
Well, you know what? That kind of gets to like a little bit. I feel like I have a little bit of a difference in, I don't know, attitude to that. I feel like a lot of people are satisfied. For example, okay, in Whole Cake, Brook got some of his best moments ever against like Big Mom.
Oh yeah, that was amazing.
And those were great, and I kind of feel satisfied with Brook in those. But the thing is, from the first time that Brook was introduced, he kind of was always like a supporting character, and it's not that he's really integrated himself into the crew. Although, I mean, some people even say that like Brook was unnecessary even back in the day, that he was a little gratuitous. But okay, hey, putting that issue aside, like with Brook, would I love some more like hard cutting Brook fights? Sure, but I'm like not that disappointed for him to just get some really cool moments that highlight like his special skills, like his whole teleport past sheath sword cut thing already. His classic move. Those don't make for like the most like as opposed to like a Zoro fight, which is traditionally like a long drawn out bloody brutal, and usually ends with learning a new skill at the end of the fight that Zoro typically gets. So okay, but the thing is, like, I feel like Oda is just giving most of the crew those kind of Brook moments. And, there were some actual fights in Wano, thank God. Took long enough, but we finally got there. Robin really got, since the first time in Skypiea, right? Robin did get a fight.
I was like, I was satisfied, man. I was like, he did it, man. Finally, she did something that isn't reading.
Yeah, I imagine that.
She can do other things, man.
I won't even go into my little nitpicks. It was a good fight, and I was glad to see Robin do it. Of course I've got nitpicks, of course. Why didn't she try to snap Big Maria's neck? Why? Why didn't we get one panel where it's like, she's too big, my snap? Like, that would, of course, be the first thing that Robin tries, Jack. You can't explain that.
Yeah, I guess I have to
one panel,
it, dude. I feel like, because I like the experience of Wano, but like thinking back to specific moments, I find is just so difficult because there is so much.
I gotta reread it first of all.
I gotta reread it too. But there was literally like a 30-chapter chunk of reading it weekly, where I was like getting headaches trying to figure out what was happening.
Which part was that?
It was like
the raid.
It was like the beginning of the raid.
Yeah,
whenever that was happening, I feel like Oda had no idea what the fuck he was doing. Like that was the first. I was like, what the hell is happening? Like one panel is Luffy. Next we get like Kinemon. Then we get Kid. Then we get it's like, what is going on here?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting if you compare something like Wano. Wano was like a big kind of war arc, but if you compare it to like Marineford, I think that like what made Marineford go down a lot smoother was that it was a totally different kind of arc, which was Luffy wasn't even trying to fight anybody one-on-one. It was, and also we really had one character that we were following, just Luffy. So we didn't really need to worry in detail about what anybody else was doing, and that gave Oda a lot of space to work with. And that's kind of the opposite of what was going on in Wano. There were so many fights, and like we're back with the crew, so I'm sure he knows we want fights with everybody. And this is just what I was going to say earlier, that like while some people seem to feel satisfied with, like, I don't know, like little moments, like, I mean, take for example Nami's thing with the kids in Dressrosa, or sorry, not Dressrosa, in Punk Hazard. Nami got like a little
And
thing
Punk
there.
Hazard.
Yeah, with Punk Hazard.
I thought that was good.
It was
was
good.
good.
It was good. But I feel, why did I start reading, One Piece back in the day, right? It is still a battle shonen, and I want that. So I have been thinking for like a decade or two, when's Nami gonna get another really good fight, like she did with Khalifa in Enies Lobby? And
Water 7.
I know she's not like the most fight-centric character in the series, of course, but I think the fact that Oda finally gave in and gave Robin a fight speaks to the fact that, like, he knows this is a battle shonen, and I feel like the way, like, kind of the language that we relate to, especially like our main protagonist characters, is through like battle techniques and attack names and new abilities that they pull out in battle to beat a certain person. And I frankly, I think he's been a little, he's been slacking in his duties on delivering on those for the, and I think he feels that he's had to do that for the sake of all the other characters, that were involved in the raid, for example.
Well,
A lot of the political stuff,
The story has just become so much bigger than like the core crew. Like it is like post time skip One Piece is so extremely different than pre time skip. Like entirely. Like ever since they got separated, it has like had such a different focus. Because way before it was like, oh yeah, we're traveling with our crew, we're going on fun adventures. But now it's like really goal focused. Like we have like signature goals for each arc. Like from the beginning. Like,
and would you say that has eaten away at the adventure aspect of the series?
I think the way he's been implementing like the separation of the crew and like the different lands they've been traveling to, I think the adventure's still there, to be honest. Just Luffy, just the introduction of Wano alone, Luffy being separated from everyone, and having to find his way on his own is probably the best way he could have introduced the arc. Just Luffy being stupid and stumbling his way through the entire story. We're through his eyes, right?
It's a little. I was going to say it's a little redundant, but I won't even hold him accountable, or I won't even hold that against him, because it just is a classic way to begin an arc on like a new adventure place. I mean, he did it in Fishman Island. Whatever. I'm sure there's lots of other places too, but that doesn't really matter. That's a perfectly fine way to begin.
But yeah, no, I understand that sort of aspect of just this freeform pirate journey.
Jack, when's the last time they used the log pose to go anywhere? Do you know offhand? Do you know? Remember?
Probably Punk Hazard.
That's correct. Getting to Punk Hazard was the last time. And since then, it's been, and it's easy to bring that up as like a glib point, like, oh, Oda doesn't do adventure anymore.
I don't think it's a bad thing, dude. Like,
I frankly do think it's a bad thing to get too far away. Well, because the log pose was supposed to be, it was established as the way that the crew, and by the way, there was a whole rigmarole made that like Nami got an upgrade to the log pose post time skip. So it's like Oda clearly seemed to be implying he was going to do more with that. Now, of course, at any time he could get back to that. I'm thinking that after Wano, I'm praying that he does just let it guide them to some island, maybe Elbaf, maybe somewhere. Even if they use the log pose and it just happens to take them to Elbaf, I don't care. That's fine. I just want to have the log pose be used, and I will let anything slide, even if it's like the island that they like kind of need to go to, and Oda's trying to get through the end of the story. I just it's just I have a spiritual connection to the log pose, kind of like I have a spiritual connection to other aspects of the story, things involved deeply in Luffy's character, for example, that somehow weirdly got changed that may have been intended since chapter 1. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that in a little bit. We'll talk about that.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm just bringing up on this subject how, like, kind of to your point, things have definitely changed since the time skip, and you don't seem to be saying that it's like too much for the negative. I think I'm definitely in the camp that it has not been to my tastes the way that things have changed. However, that doesn't make it all bad. It's still One Piece,
Yeah, it's still One Piece. Like at its core, like the biggest part I enjoy about One Piece is like the characters and its comedy. Like I feel like One Piece is like I just love it a lot. And as long as it's still like going on this trajectory of this grand journey, the characters are still fun and funny, and we have all these great moments. I think it's still amazing. I think Wano, even if it is a mess, just like Dressrosa, it is a mess full of like unnecessary characters. It is one of my top 5 arcs. Like it is definitely one of my favorite arcs of the story.
Wano
like,
is, you're saying?
Wano is.
Yeah,
Wano is.
I need to reread it kinda to make a fair assessment. So I doubt it's going to be in my top 5. But
yeah, I understand. You have a lot of nitpicks for it, but like.
No, Jack, I have a lot of serious, legitimate criticisms.
Legitimate.
Yeah.
Well, there is also a lot of serious issues that I also have. I literally just complained about having headaches reading it.
But that's true. That's true.
But I love the world it creates. The plot twists of Luffy's Devil Fruit is like literally had me like, I was like, what the hell? There's still things that are happening in the story. You say that things that surprised me.
You almost say that as if it was a positive development in the story. That's an interesting take.
Oh, do you not like it?
Well, hey, let's get into it. I have a nuanced take. I made like a 4-hour stream on the day that the big reveal happened. Okay, because I have a suspicion. Okay. I have a suspicion that we're probably not as far apart as that might imply. Because it's that when it comes to summarize my point, and you can feel free to elaborate on yours. The outcome of there's like a couple consequences of like the Nika reveal, and one of them is just Luffy gets Toon Force powers, and like that. Even that, I've got like a couple of things that I don't love about it, because like Luffy's powers are so like. They've been so regimentally defined for a long time, and then to give him what I mean was described as basically like quote unquote limitless power. Of course, in practical terms in the story, it's gonna have limits. It's not gonna make him like God obviously. Instantly. But like I have some concerns about opening it up so wide, and we know like Oda's gonna say, oh, it drains a lot of his energy. Okay, he's gonna have just enough energy to win every fight he needs to. We know how this goes down. So stakes could take a beating from something like that a little bit. But okay. Like that aside, I do think that it is a totally logical and kind of I'll say just a smart way to evolve Luffy's powers that totally makes sense as like the awakening of his fruit. It's like the next stage of a rubbery guy. Totally cool. Like that a lot, and the way that Oda can draw it is going to be tons of fun for sure. Okay, so that's like the first layer. Yeah.
Sure.
On that layer, we're probably in agreement. However, on the other layers, this is where most of my issues come from. Which is like, all right, now Jack, you can't tell me. Do you really think that when Oda was sitting there as a baby boy and he was writing chapter 1 of One Piece, he thought to himself, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna write that Luffy has a devil fruit that's totally different. I'm gonna play the long con for 24 years or 23 years. I'm gonna do the old bait and switcherino. And the people are gonna love it. What say you, Jack? Do you think it was
to be a literal god, bro? There is no fucking way in hell. I think he's.
When do you think though that like the idea came up? For example,
I think because there's all the imagery with them sort of dancing on Skypiea. I think it might be around Skypiea.
No, well, okay, let me push back on that right away.
All right, push me.
Okay,
push me.
Now, what Oda's style of storytelling is that he leaves a lot of things open-ended, and then later on he can capitalize on them. So I mean, what did we really get in like the Skypiea arc, in chapter like 300 or whatever? We got some silhouettes of Luffy in a shot with a bunch of silhouettes, and it's true. Oda did say like this is my favorite panel of the series. Maybe he I don't think that really means that he intended it. I think that I think that when he was later
I don't know,
on,
man.
So you think since Skypiea? Skypiea?
If he's saying it's his favorite panel, man, like
what does that really mean? And first of all, I forget when he said that.
What does the word favorite really mean, Nate?
I'll tell you what it doesn't mean. It doesn't mean he planned Nika since that chapter. That's not what that means. Not necessarily.
Yeah, it might not be.
Oh,
I definitely I've heard this complaint a lot. One of my roommates is like was really against it. Obviously there's the concern like why wouldn't the Gorosei be targeting Luffy by now, right?
That's a
like,
real
that's
concern.
Like, that's like the biggest concern.
They let him go. They should have used way more energy.
Way more
if
force.
They even suspected that this guy, and this guy is beating their Shichibukai, and they're like not rushing to get him. I mean, come on, guys. But yeah. I was saying, as soon as they defeated Crocodile, at that point, it almost makes no sense that they wouldn't be like, okay, he's taking down our Shichibukai. He is the Nika man. Let's, put like most of our energy into capturing this guy, not just give him like, what they give him, a 100 million berry bounty. That's nothing on the grand scale. Yeah.
It's what I've like as a counter, what I've seen other people say, like like. From my friends arguing about this and me being kind of like, I think it's okay. But just like they maybe don't want to draw too much attention to it in that sort of way. People have been bringing up, which I don't necessarily agree with. I think they have the power.
Think that any of these Gorosei arguments, the thing that like the attention arguments, even a guy like me who doesn't like it, I don't find that like so. I don't think that's the make or break issue. Like that they didn't give him that much attention. I think it adds to, at the very least, this sense that like Luffy. That it wasn't planned. I mean, at the very least. I mean, if you ask me, planned, I think that at the earliest, I think he started to come up with the Nika stuff like around Whole Cake. Because I always say that there was legitimately some odd moments during the fight against Katakuri when he uses Snake Man, where Katakuri, this is the first time this ever really happens, Katakuri says like, I don't understand how this guy moves like this. And frankly, even to counter my own argument, like there are other times characters have said that I don't think Oda was implying that like this means that he has a higher. It's just the character is just literally confused as to how Luffy, a rubber man, could like be so creative or weird with like he might have literally thought of the Nika thing like a chapter before he wrote it into the story with Who's Who announcing it. I don't know either way. But
I think maybe it could have been when he kind of started introducing Joy Boy, like in the Fishman Island stuff. That would make sense.
It's possible, sure.
That would be, I think, a little bit better than literally the arc before it is introduced.
Well, you know what? I mean, Soko here is making a fine point, and I agree. It doesn't really matter if it was planned or not. What does matter is how it impacts the story. So you know. So
it's like a nitpick.
Yeah.
But I believe that Oda can somewhat explain the Gorosei's actions. I think there's time.
Sure.
To sort of explain that, but
that would. I think that he's better off not even trying to explain any of these contradictions. I would advise Oda personally, like, just don't worry about them and move on. It's already there. Just don't worry about it. Don't even try to explain exactly why Luffy actually had the rubber fruit or the Nika fruit. Don't even bother. It is what it is. And now, this gets on to kind of the third issue that I have, which is just the sort of the implications of Shanks's character and sort of really just the worst case scenario if it comes to be the case. And there are good ways and bad ways. Like the fact that this is the Nika fruit, right? It's sure, and now that we know that Shanks is like a deep mover and shaker, at the very least, it looks like Oda is now writing Shanks as a guy who really knew a lot about what was going on, and that it's very, very likely that Shanks intentionally captured the Nika fruit when he, I don't know, like had an opportunity to, and that he
keep it under wraps or whatever,
kept it under wraps. I mean, I don't know if you've heard this theory, but a common theory is people thought that Shanks might have been trying to capture the Nika fruit to give it to Roger's son, Ace.
Yeah. So, I've heard that.
Which would make a lot of sense. Which would make a lot of sense,
but like Ace already had that fruit.
Well, at this point in the story, when Luffy was just a kid.
When Luffy was a kid.
Yeah, Ace didn't have one. I mean, just on that subject.
He was a kid, yeah.
Yeah, he was a kid, but some counterpoints to that are, I'm not actually sure that that Shanks even had any way of knowing that Roger even had children. Because no one knew that Ace was the child of Gold Roger except like a very small group of people. And
It's like Garp, and yeah, but like, yeah,
but I guess he could have talked to Garp anytime, I guess. And
well, because they're in that like city for a long time. There could have
yeah,
been some
they were
some
nearby.
interaction, but I doubt Garp would. I don't know, maybe talk to.
Well,
Shanks.
I mean,
I don't know if they had any relationship whatsoever.
In the what I in a endearingly call new piece. I think Oda is it so far out of the belief that Oda would simply write the story so that Shanks had indeed had some conversations with Garp or Makino or anyone, and like actually did know. But then again, actually, I'll just in the story we actually see the moment. Yeah, wait, what am I saying? We see the moment where Shanks meets Ace for the first time when it's in this moment where like and this was definitely before Oda planned any of this shit, so he might have fucked himself over here. There's a moment where we see Shanks is in like a winter island somewhere. I see this clip all the time. I can't remember exactly when it happens. And like Ace walks in and is like, "Hey, I'm Luffy's brother. I wanted to say hello because like I've known about you, and Luffy has always looked up to you." Wait, I think this. No. This is not non-canon. I am positive this is in the manga. I'm positive, and I've seen it in the anime from a long time. So just I'm sorry. I'm just kind of working through this on my own right here. But like, what I think that does is it boxes out. Shanks could have actually even known that Roger had a son. Might not have known that it was Ace specifically though, and then still had like plans. But then, like, he would have probably followed through. Like, Ace existed.
Yeah, there's
Ace
a
was
lot of
out
holes
there.
in this theory. There's a
yeah,
lot of holes in
yeah.
this theory.
There's definitely
There's a
some
lot.
holes in that one. So
I'd like to believe
Yeah.
that Shanks didn't know. That's
I
ignorance.
want to believe with you, Jack. I want so
I
hard
want
to believe
it. We haven't seen much of Shanks. I just want to believe he found a devil fruit and maybe he was bringing it with him. You know?
And then and then just what chapter 1 presented, I want to have just been true at face value, which was he had a devil fruit, and again in this he didn't even know it was actually the legendary Nika fruit, and this kid, our main character Luffy, just happened to get it, and he just happened to be someone who had like the will to, you know, win One Piece or whatever. If that's the story of One Piece by the time it's done, I won't have much to complain on that front. That'll be fine. I mean, I've got other things to complain about Nika,
But I
not
understand
on that. Yeah.
the hesitancy.
Well, let's take
Yeah.
what at this point I think is the fairly likely thing, which is that Shanks probably knew. And because again, remember, who was guarding the fruit? Now that we know with who's who, CP9 specifically was guarding the fruit. So that's quite an ask. I mean, again, he could have just been raiding random ships. Possible. I'm gonna guess he did, but let's just say that he did know.
But it's CP9. So
Yeah, it seems likely that you wouldn't target them unless there was something you were trying to do. Okay, let's assume that he did know that. Let's say that he knew specifically that it was the Nika fruit. Okay, and nothing else. And maybe he even knew. This doesn't matter. But maybe he was like, I'm gonna find Roger's son. Maybe that thing that Gold Roger whispered to him the last time they were together was like, I'm gonna have a son. Take care of him, Shanks. Help him be, you know, because Roger wanted his son to like fulfill the prophecy of Joy Boy or whatever once he was gone. So he might have told Shanks to like find his son and help him. That'd be fine. Okay, so assuming Shanks had some vague desire to do that and he had the Nika fruit, I'll say this to defend that situation as well. It's possible that Shanks just got a little careless and was just like hanging out in that bar. They had their secret devil fruit, which, I mean, it was like kind of the most plot important thing, but he just, they were partying, they got a little wild, a little rowdy, they were drinking their grog and getting into a ruckus, and a kid is partying with him and just eats the fruit. And so this wasn't something that Shanks planned specifically, but he, upon coming to like Luffy and thinking that Luffy was a tough, cool kid, and he respected him, he was like, you know what, I guess I will trust this kid. Now see, already even there I'm getting mad just thinking about it, because now even this like best case scenario, it does affect our understanding of Shanks and Luffy's relationship, that like now he's got this whole big thing that like it wasn't just that he was a kid who reminded him of fucking Captain Roger. He had the fucking legendary Nika fruit.
He had the fruit and he had to believe in him,
and he had no choice but to believe in him.
It's weird. It's weird. There's definitely a lot of things he could use.
To put
explain
himself
it.
in such a box here. It's such a box, and there's no. I don't see many good answers at. Like, let's say that Shanks didn't know. Well, then why the fuck is Shanks robbing random CP9 agents for devil fruits? Is that really something he needs to be doing if he isn't specifically like doing it for like plot relevant reasons? Seems like a bad plan to me, man. Why, you know? And again, if he just thought it, maybe he just thought it was like the gum fruit. I mean, that fruit is, you know, Luffy has used it to good effect, but that's kind of the point of the character. It was kind of a shitty fruit that Luffy, like, found ways to make good, and that's why a lot of us, you know, thought it was pretty cool early on.
Yeah. No, that's, yeah. No, I hadn't even thought about the,
Okay.
the inconsistencies with Shanks.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
it could fuck up his character and his relationship to Luffy. It's possible.
Yeah, it could fuck up his character, which
Just
we don't know too much
imagine,
about.
Jack, imagine for a moment we get to chapter 2000, and Shanks walks out and he says, "Yes, Luffy, I never trusted you. I never put my faith in you. I actually just knew that you had eaten the god fruit, and I said, curses, curse my fate, but I have no choice but to hope that this kid will do the thing or whatever and win the day." Shit. Hope that. Too bad about that, but that's not
definitely
good.
not
I don't
that,
like it
because
Yeah.
even before he ate the fruit, Shanks and him were friends. There's like,
Yeah, it's true.
There's definitely it. In all actuality, it'll probably play out as like Shanks, you know, had the fruit, he's trying to protect it. Luffy eats the fruit. He's like, "Oh shit, fuck! This child that I'm friends with, randomly ate the fruit, and now I have to." You know, believe in him, I guess, a little bit more.
I hate that element of coercion. I hate it so much that like he kind of had to believe in him.
But it seemed like Shanks. I'd have to reread the first chapter again to understand the timeline of events. Because this definitely Oda definitely wrote himself in the corner here.
I do think so, and you know, we always say about this subject that like the thing that annoys me the most about the Nika stuff is just the things that are so unnecessary about it. Oh yeah, go on. I think I'm losing you a little bit. Oh yeah,
they were friends. Yeah, man. Oh, sorry. I think I'm lagging a bit. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well,
let me.
A little fucky. Are we good now?
Yeah. I think we're connected. Okay.
All right.
Let me throw this at you real quick.
Okay.
Why? Fucking why? On God's green earth, did Oda feel the need to make the Paramecia Gomu Gomu no Mi fruit? Why did it need to be a Zoan fruit? A fucking Zoan. And I remind you, Jack, a singularly special, God-level, different fruit. Then it is the only fruit that works like this in the entire series that has like that Luffy, he never once transformed into anything. He just got like the Marco has blue fire, right? Marco has blue fire. He can do it even when he's a human. Okay. Luffy, but he does turn into a bird sometimes. You know, it doesn't require him to devil fruit awaken to do it. He just has to he just never transformed into anything until he awakened.
He's always in his first form. Like
no, well, I think that's
even
that's giving it too much credit because like it is because I mean we have another mythical human fruit to compare to, which is Sengoku's, and like what is the main thing of Sengoku's fruit? The Buddha fruit or the Daibutsu, whatever. He turns into a big fucking Buddha. Luffy never Luffy after eating the fruit, he didn't look at all. He didn't look different one iota. And you know, Jack, you know it's because he didn't plan this shit. It's because he had to pull it directly out of his asshole. And it's just so annoying.
It's a cool turd, though, bro. It's a cool turd out of his ass,
Some things are cool.
Okay?
Okay, there's some elements that are cool.
He definitely didn't plan it.
Okay, but
I agree with you on that.
Jack, just embrace this fact, all right? Just go with me on this.
All right.
This would make me stop crying and shitting myself and pissing myself every day.
All right.
If only he just made it like a special Paramecia. At least I'd be like, well, at least that makes technical sense. It always, first of all, he didn't need to make it the Nika fruit. It could have just been the Gum fruit, and this could have been the awakening of the Gum fruit. And then just make it like a special Paramecia that like when you awaken it, you get a new power. Cool. That makes sense. So So the Zoan thing, I think, is the #1 thing that annoys me. It is.
I honestly forgot it was Zoan.
You forgot it was Zoan.
I forgot it was Zoan.
Every day of my fucking life, Jack, I'm seething.
You're rolling in a fucking ball in your bed.
I'm
You
dying.
can't
Yes,
sleep.
it's true. It's so true. It's exactly what I do.
I'm like, it was Zoan. It didn't really mean much to me, but now I
That's
understand
because
why.
you're a hack reader, Jack.
I'm
and
not a
luckily
hack
I'm here
reader,
to
bro.
correct
I
your
love
opinions. All right, Jackda Hackda is spiking right now. The bets have all gone hard Hackda. I'm sorry to tell
God
you.
damn it, bro.
Yeah.
Fuck. I should have paid attention to the specific devil fruit types. God damn it.
What the way that you say that makes it sound like you're joking. How could you
I
be
am
joking
joking,
about that?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Then why did he do it? If it doesn't matter, then just leave it a Paramecia. Just leave it a Paramecia. Why does it have to be? Okay, we know why. I know why he needs it to be a zone, right? It's because he's doing this thing with this Joy Boy Nika God thing.
Yes.
That's obviously why.
It wants to be the Journey of the West thing.
Well,
like he's trying
fuck
to be,
you, Oda. If you do that, I'm just saying, man. If he does that, I'm gonna bitch about it. Unless, I don't know. Guess you should have planned it from chapter 1. That's all I'm saying. Should have planned it out.
Fuck, man. He should have been the god we all knew, but he was just he was just like a 40-year-old man.
He was the Hackta. He was the Hackta.
He was the Hackta all along.
It's true.
Just like us. You know.
I'm going full goblin mode, Jack. I apologize. It's beneath my station, but
no,
it has
I like
to be
the
done.
goblin. Goblins are funny. You can continue being goblin if you want. It's
defend your
definitely-
position, Jack. Defend yourself.
I can't even defend because
Yeah.
you're right.
I've
You're
got the
just
facts
right.
and logic on my side.
You got the
know?
facts. You got the Ben Shapiro, and I'm bent over, man.
You hear
I'm
that,
bent
guys?
over-
This
He's-
libtard
he's
has been
bent-
thoroughly debunked, and it was a pleasure to do it.
You I understand I don't know. It could have been a Logia fruit too. Would have been fine.
I mean, well,
That would have been
Logan
a
would have
little
made
bit
more
better.
sense. It would have made more sense. Yeah.
than the Zoan.
It's just that it's all these little things together. It's just like, okay, he obviously didn't plan it. I think a lot of this could have been smoother. I mean, people are saying like it didn't even need to be any kind of mythical special fruit at all. This could, a lot of us have said it's a really easy solution to this that I think makes like literally everybody happy, which is just you just say that like Luffy has just now awakened the Gum Gum fruit, and that's what it's called. It's the Gum Gum fruit, which it always will be to me. Fuck off, Oda. I don't care. Retcons don't count. So he awakens it, and it's just okay. Like it's been a fruit that whatever. Maybe even like Joy Boy had it in the past. Even that I don't like that much. I want it to be separate. But okay, fine, whatever. It's like the same fruit Joy Boy had. Luffy got it, and he awakened it. Fine. That's why he's the main character. Not the worst thing in the world. And I mean, and frankly, and we're done. Like the Gorosei could have just said that like it's the same fruit that I don't know, like the legendary one Joy Boy known as Nika had eaten, and it gave him these powers that made him the most ridiculous power in the world. To me, that like solves most. Oh God, sorry, I'm burping. That solves all my like logistical bitchy whiny problems on that front, and then we're just left with all the Toon Force goodness that people enjoy. You know, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, I get that. I get you, man. You got the facts and logic on your side.
I'm so glad you've conceded on that point.
I get you. But
you know, I feel
still,
like I almost have to apologize. I think I'm such a mental fortress that when I bring people into my little world, you know, first on the podcast, now on Talking Pirates, I have a tendency to wake people up to the injustices going on all around them. And you know what? It's fun to be asleep. It's fun to not be woke as I am to these crimes being committed against us. But now that you're awake, I don't know if you can go back to sleep, and I apologize.
I'm going back to sleep. I don't give a fuck, to be honest.
I'm gonna come.
But yeah, no, you're right. It's definitely, you know, you're definitely kind of correct about that.
Well, you know, this is the
I
further
feel like
point.
Oda
Yeah.
could introduce maybe more mythical Zoans, kind of like the Nika fruit.
Oh God,
Maybe.
dude, have you? Okay, you probably haven't seen
Maybe
this.
he can. Maybe there's a giant on Elbaf with like a similar devil fruit. Maybe
you know what's a
maybe
laugh?
that.
You know what's a laugh, Jack? If you look at the list of mythical Zoans, all that exist in the series, there's like 8, and 2 were introduced at Marineford. All the rest were introduced in Wano. The power creep is real. We're getting Oda is he's
Well,
he's,
the mythical.
he's struggling,
Well,
man.
that's what Kaido's crew is. Like, it's all the mythical
Well,
Zoans.
wait, hang
that's
on.
Why most of them.
Kaido's
right?
crew has
Isn't that like
it's
most
himself.
of them?
Well,
Yeah, isn't
there's himself. He's the fish dragon fruit man. I think he's the only one, if I remember correctly.
Does it? What's the one fucking guy?
Did you know that fox? Oh, you probably didn't know. Remember the fox that turned into the monk, Oniguma or whatever its name was? Do you even
Yes.
remember this? Okay, that
Kind of.
fox ate a fucking mythical Hito no Mi devil fruit that was like model monk dude.
Oh,
What?
that's awesome.
Oda,
What the
why?
fuck?
Foxes
When did
can
that happen?
transform
What
in
the
Japanese mythology. You don't need to explain that with a mythical devil fruit.
That's amazing, though. That's the
Wait,
old
wait.
monk form.
Yeah, it's like the specific model of the Hito no Mi model.
That's
whatever the
amazing.
fuck. Wait, hang
That's
on.
Funny, that's funny shit, dude.
I'm
great.
glad that you appreciate this 10 out of 10 writing from Goda. I know I do.
That's goated, dude.
Yes.
Shut the fuck up. It's goated.
Best guy ever. Doesn't understand power systems. He is so pathetic. Okay, thank you, Trafalgar Law, the goat.
True,
My
true,
favorite character.
true.
Don't let him talk anymore, Jack. He is a clown.
I'm gonna come.
True,
let me
dude. Give him his
debate
fucking
best
nose.
guy ever.
I'll give him his nose. We'll do
Okay. They need you to wager war a little more strongly against these facts and logic, Jack. They're counting on you to defend
All right.
Hakta.
I can't. Well,
There
it's-
is no
these-
defending Hakta, really.
There's no
though.
defending Hakta at some points, okay, guys? It's hard. It's hard.
It's tough. He's made it
when
difficult to
when
defend
he's
him.
throwing like 80 samurais with no personality in my face, I can't really do much. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
man, those were classic overstuffed characters right there. He didn't need to like introduce any of. They could have been in the background. That really, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, remember those 4 dudes in Alabasta who show up and they say, "Crocodile, we just drank the elixir of death. We're all about to die in 20 seconds, but in that time, we're going to kill you. We're gonna kill you, Crocodile." I don't know. I mean, a lot of people forget these guys even exist, including me. They try.
yeah, you just reminded me, to be honest.
He's a Logia, so they can't do anything, and they all die immediately. And those guys, they didn't get shit for an introduction. But they're a memorable character to me. You know, I don't know. To me, like that's the correct role. They get like a very small role, but they don't get like an introduction. They're not even like recurring characters. Okay, whatever. I'm just going on about Oda overstuffing fucking.
Good, right?
Overstuffing
Stuffing
these
Wano
characters, and
as
they
he
didn't really
does.
need it.
Yeah, he's a hack. You know.
Kawamatsu's the best though. He's good. He has a funny backstory.
I liked a lot of Kawamatsu. I did.
Kawamatsu's good. He's like the best samurai. Like, he's better than like Kanjuro and all the other.
Well, Kanjuro's based. I love a nice trader, like a nice.
Ugh, that's like the. I think that's the worst writing. I think like in the entirety.
You
of
think
One
so?
Piece, to be
How
honest.
so? How so?
I just think it had no impact
Like
whatsoever.
him being the trader or whatever.
Him being the trader had like no impact on
Well, I kind of
almost
agree. Yeah.
anything happening.
It's because
'cause
they
he's
only
there.
really characterize him after that anyway.
Yeah, it's
That's how I feel anyway.
yeah, they only focus on him like after he's the traitor, and it's like, okay.
Hey, how about this though? I mean, if anyone in the arc, again, like I wanted more samurai. Why the fuck did we not get? We got like 10 fake out fights with Kanjuro. We didn't get one actual fight. And by the way, he has one of the coolest powers in Wano that I felt this arc desperately needed more fun, creative powers because it was just so full of Zoans that are kind of a bore to fight, which I feared the arc would be, and then it kind of was. Like his power was so cool, and there's like this internal samurai struggle going on, and I don't know. He doesn't get a fight, and that's a big theme here. Characters who deserved good fights or at least more screen time or something, and not just being like off-screened is deeply unfortunate. Oh, Simsa here is saying Kanjuro being a traitor is better than Sabo's entire existence. How do you feel about
What?
Sabo, Jack? How do you feel about him?
What?
Are you a Sabo
What?
guy? A Sabo
I like
stan?
Sabo. I like him. You know, he's a nice character, but it's definitely not.
Do you enjoy his selective memory loss? Do you enjoy his
It's a little quirky. It's a little hashtag quirky.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
It's definitely not his best writing, for sure.
That's fair. It's nice that we have a
That's, like,
backup
literally
ace,
when
though.
I caught up to One Piece was when Sabo was introduced.
So,
was,
like post Marineford flashback.
yeah, it's just just the in Dressrosa is when I caught up to One Piece.
Oh,
Is
during
when-
Dressrosa. Oh,
Yeah, during Dressrosa.
I
Yeah,
see. So you are a little baby. You are.
I'm a little It's
Yeah.
only been I'm a baby. It's only been 7 years.
Dude, 7 years is literally nothing, Jack. You are a child. You are an infant.
7
You are
years, bro.
I mean,
It's
that's
7
just Otis dragging these fucking arcs out so fucking long, man.
Yeah, man. I was watching the anime weekly in Dressrosa. It was like the worst.
Fascinating.
It was like torture. It was literally torture.
Yeah, yeah. No
Uh,
kidding. No kidding.
Sabo is the worst character. He's not the worst character. I like what he's doing. and the
A
sort
lot of
role
people here,
he
actually,
has
even
in the
more than me,
story.
Jack. I think I agree with you. I actually like a lot of what Sabo is doing, like as he exists now. But I mean, you won't be surprised to hear that like I roll my eyes real hard at like Sabo's introduction to the story and like his fucking memory loss that he only gets it back directly after Ace's execution. Like he had read papers, of course, like he had heard about Luffy and Ace. These are big pirates coming up in the world. So it's a very convenient writing, very
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the memory loss is definitely like like Oda could even like he didn't even have to include that, to be honest. Like
yeah, he really did. I was saying before, just say that Sabo was just busy and he couldn't come to like he was
busy. Well,
freeing
he's
a country
part of-
from slavery or whatever the fuck.
He's
You know?
part of the Revolutionary Army.
Yeah,
they're
he's busy.
They're
He's a very
literal
busy man.
spies. Like they're supposed to be spies. Like he didn't
Although,
even need to include that.
I
So
mean,
it's-
that leaves the other problem of like why in the ensuing like 15 years didn't Sabo go and check in on either Ace, who was a very famous pirate and was known to have joined the Whitebeards, because you know they thought he was dead. It would make sense to go check in on him. I feel like Oda could have done something with that, but I mean, again, Sabo is a compromised character from inception. There was always going to be some pain in getting him into the story. But what like once we're past that pain, I feel like a lot of people feel this way like about Nika and that stuff. It still bothers me a lot. But once you're past that pain, a lot of it's fine. I think a lot of people don't like Sabo because he's just like Ace 2. And
he's Ace
so that-
again.
yeah. I mean,
he's
you
not
know.
as sexy, so it's just kind of like why even bother?
I kind of
you know
like
what
that though, because when Dressrosa was going on, I actually forgot about like Sabo, and I was just remembering that, or there was a thing Luffy was thinking to himself like, okay, I'm gonna get the Mera fruit. Who should I give it to? Should I give it to Zoro, Frankie? I can't think of anybody. And then once I was thinking too, like, yeah, that's true. Nobody really fits. That would be weird for anybody to
Yeah,
get.
no,
it.
it's
Giving it to Sabo makes perfect sense. And
it's a
and works.
perfect like it couldn't have been a better fit.
Yeah.
and I was happy about that though, honestly.
And you know, people are saying Sabo doesn't have any characterization, which Sabo has like one character trait, which is that like he hates like the evil nobles, and you know he was one, and so like he has those like family relationships he knows from the inside that it's like corrupt and bad, which you know makes him a perfect fit for the like the Revolutionary Army, and I like all those ideas quite a bit. I think I'm glad that we have like someone from the nobility. There was like Doflamingo, who was a celestial dragon, but then he lost it, so he hates them, but he also hates the commoners, so he hates everybody. He
he
the
hates
Joker.
everything. He's a psychopath.
the-
Yeah, the Joker. Yeah.
And then there's Sabo, who's also from like that privileged world or whatever, but he is like he's decided to be a good guy, like like that one guy who is also still in the Tenryubito, who during Reverie, the guy who was saved by Otohime, that one celestial dragon, the Don Quixote something. You know what I'm talking about? Remember this?
No.
There was a during Reverie, I think like Carlos, one of the bad Tenryubito, ordered like I think Rob Lucci to like go Mjosgard.
Mjosgard.
It was like
Oh
Doflamingo,
no,
wasn't it?
okay, yeah,
The like
they're all-
redeemed Tenryubito, who's now a good guy, because based Otohime with truth and compassion and love got through to that boy. Ooh, I love me some Otohime. Best part of Fishman Island.
the queen.
Hey, what do you think of Fishman Island in general?
I like it, but it's definitely, you know, it's really slow.
Yeah.
It's really slow. And like so many people I know who are into One Piece like get into it and literally stop at Fishman Island. Like there's so many friends of mine that are like,
Yeah,
it's literally
yeah.
the wall you have to jump across. Even though there's a lot of good stuff in there,
Yeah, I enjoy Fisher Tiger, and Otohime is one of my favorite characters. I absolutely love.
Yeah,
Otohime.
No, she's just great. Like
Yeah.
what she stands for is really great, and that whole backstory is very well done, and just kind of comes out of nowhere. Gives more
Yeah.
backstory to Arlong and everything. I thought that was like the best part of the arc.
I
then
always
it's ki-
say,
Yeah,
well,
you're just.
yeah,
Oh, sorry,
go
sorry.
ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna. No, you go. You go. I will stop.
Okay.
Okay.
We're like passing each other in the hallway, and we can't fucking figure out who's gonna go in front of each other.
Okay. You
But
go.
basically, yeah, it's just that arc it has this great backstory.
Yeah.
With all this bullshit around it.
Yeah,
Like, Cody
yeah.
Jones is like a terrible villain. Like I just hate him.
I
He's-
like.
he has,
Well, okay.
he has
I'll say it in a
nothing
moment.
to him. He has nothing to him.
But
He's
that's
just
the point,
eating
Jack.
steroids.
That's the point.
I
It's
know,
a
I
subversion.
understand.
It's a subversion.
I understand what it's for. This whole arc is just kind of to.
No.
get
If you
Straw Hat-
understood, it would be Gota 10 out of 10. Sure, clearly.
Okay, explain it to me then. Explain. Defend Hody Jones to me.
Yeah, you know,
I've been
well,
shitting on this motherfucker for like 7 years.
I can't disagree with you. I also
Okay.
am not the biggest. I mean, I don't like Hody. The fact that Zoro cucks him early in the fucking arc, and I'm supposed to take him seriously as like the main villain for Luffy later. Yes, he does a bunch of fucking roids. Okay,
He
cool.
just eats all the roids, man. It's like
It's
come on.
I mean, pathetic, obviously.
pathetic.
But I think that Oda, I always say this. I like a lot of the idea behind Hody being motivated by this like just this blanket hatred of humans that is not well justified, and it's just supposed to represent like like racism, hatred of people for no good reason, etc. All that is a perfectly well told story. Including his just reveal that like they did nothing to me personally. I've just been like captured by this worldview or whatever. That's all great. However, unfortunately, that arc comes directly after Marineford, and then the little get together, and then Fishman Island. When I was desperate to just like reestablish our crew, go on a big. I mean, the adventure part of Fishman Island was kind of great at the very beginning, but then
Sanji, like
yeah,
Sanji with
the
his
underwater
nosebleed and
stuff, meeting the
everything.
Kraken. I love that when they rode like the dragon current, underwater. There was like lore about the kind of streams. I love all that like navigation stuff. But once they get to Fishman Island, they get really bogged down in like, I don't know, like they don't even like really adventure. They just kind of hang out in a city and go to the castle and
they just exposit like
exactly.
backstory. back in-
And then,
like-
of course,
like-
Joy Boy was introduced, which I would think was a mistake from the very beginning. But whatever, we're past that now, I guess. How do you feel about the Joy Boy Destiny stuff in general?
I like it.
Yeah.
I don't see.
You
I don't see, like,
you are far more used to it than I am. I was there
yeah,
from the
well,
beginning.
yeah, because I was just kind of binging it.
Yeah.
I don't know how long have you been into One Piece?
I
Like, a long
caught up
time?
on One Piece on the manga during Thriller Bark. So this
Oh
is
shit! Okay.
it was around like 15 years ago or something, I think.
Oh
so.
shit! Okay.
I've been following for a good while. Yep.
Yeah,
yeah.
you've got that jadedness, I guess.
I have an enlightened view of One Piece, and I have a perspective that allows me to accurately assess that Oda has fallen off, and it's pure hackta every chapter from now on. And
I feel like if we talked about this a year ago, I would be in the same place because I was feeling
Really?
this like
Really?
Wano like I was not into Wano for like
the
a couple
Wano
months.
ennui.
Yeah, but then I
Yeah.
just kind of I feel like it picked up after a while.
Then Gota started
Uh,
writing again, so it's all gravy.
Yeah, he started writing again. I was happy. I was like, he's back. He's back.
Okay, the people have been asking. All right, they want to put your opinions on two characters that are famously widely discussed on this show: Trafalgar D. Wattel Law, and that's his fucking name. It's something like that. I don't
Water,
know.
bro. It's
Water.
Water
okay,
Law.
Water. And
He's got the
also
water,
Gene
man.
Bay.
He's wet as fuck.
How do you feel about
Well-
Law? What are your thoughts on Law?
I'm afraid to say it on this stream, bro.
Oh,
to
you
be
should be
honest.
afraid. You
I'm
should be
afraid,
terrified.
dude. I'm gonna get chewed. But I love Law. I think
how could you
I love
say
Law,
that shit
dude.
on my stream?
Do not come.
I fucking love Law, dude. He's amazing.
Do not come.
You know, he
Oh,
likes bread, man.
do you like that he just is like the most special character? Do you like that he's like the before this Nika bullshit? Law was the single most special baby boy given extra powers for no fucking reason. He's got like 1,000 fucking powers. He just keeps pulling them out every arc. They're so non-specific. Nothing makes any
Like,
sense that he can do.
Like what? Like what special powers?
Okay, why can he just make a room where let's list the powers that Law has.
Okay. All right.
We've got basic room powers. Okay, room, and within the room, he can teleport things. He can switch the fucking souls of people between each other. He can, let me see, cut out hearts in one kind of, that's sort of a teleporting thing.
Well, that's just sort of part of.
Okay, I'll give you that teleport.
Cutting.
Fine, I like that power. That's a cool power.
Like teleport, he's just the heart thing is kind of just him with the limb thing. Like he's just kind of.
Okay, I'll give that. Okay, that's all under one category.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
sure.
yeah,
And
okay.
I like that power.
He's
got fucking, let's see, electroshock powers. He can just shock you. That's something else he's got. He can, let me see. There's like 1,000 more. Okay, well, he can croom, all right? The man can croom. He can cover his sword for some reason. Well, I guess that's like his awakening. Okay, but still, the thing I don't like about Law.
The electricity is weird. I'll give you that. The electricity is a little weird.
And it's like, and why? And of course, the most special thing of all is the eternal life thing. A one-time use power that his devil fruit can do. This is explicitly talked about by Flamingo and whatnot.
I'm aware.
No other character, including Luffy, even with the Nika shit, has this power to, they have like an additional one-time usage thing, which, I know that he would die if he does it, but that doesn't matter. Why is his fruit so fucking overpowered? It's just, it grates on my nerves. He has too many powers. You need to slow it down. Okay, unlike my boy, useless Captain Mid. I mean, Eustace Captain
Yeah,
Kid.
that's the correct opinion.
No. He's based. His powers are so well defined. Oh yeah,
he has a dumb little arm, bro.
He's got a totally sick metal arm, and he's got electromagnetism powers.
You like simplicity, Nate. You know, I'm more about the complexity. Of powers, you know what I mean? Like you're after
just piling on powers for no reason. It's because it's like a doctor. Like a doctor can shock people, right? I guess. I don't know.
The shocking is stupid. Like when that was introduced, that is just kind of out of nowhere. It doesn't really connect with his room.
It's because he's it's like a doc. Like the Ope Ope no Mi stands for operation apparently, because doctor powers. That's just it's cringe. It's fucking cringe. Too many powers. It's cringe, Jack. It's fucking cringe.
Fuck
is what
you,
it is.
go to that shit's cringe.
No, fuck you, Hacta. Hacta wrote Law without question.
Hacta,
also, Law was way cooler when he was first introduced.
He's
before
better
time
now.
skip. Better now? Oh no.
No.
What? How could you
ever
say
since he
that?
started, ever since Chopper went on his goddamn head, man, he sold. I was sold on him.
All right. Okay. We've covered Law. I'm glad you understand Law is cringe now. Okay. So, moving past that, how about Jinbei? What are your thoughts on Jinbei?
Fuck, you guys are haters here, bro.
Well, no, we're lovers. Fuck? We love good peace, and they keep giving us bad peace. We have to hold the line.
Jinbei he's all right. I think Jinbei's. I don't love Jinbei.
Specifically, how about him joining the crew, that kind of aspect?
It's definitely.
Is it a bit much for you? Is it a bit much?
I'm fine with him joining the crew. I think it should have happened a long time ago. I feel like
with you on that.
I'm just kind of because he was gonna join a Fishman Island, but he's like, nah, I'm not going to. Then he asked him again in Whole Cake,
which was
and he's
so
like, nah.
strange. I can't believe the number of false starts for his joining.
Yeah,
really
I feel
annoying.
like I've been jacking off, and then he stops right before I'm about to come. You know what I mean?
And why did it even? Especially after Whole Cake, at the very least, at the end of Whole Cake. For what reason did he even narratively? Why would Oda, knowing how Jinbei has now joined? I don't understand at all why he wasn't just part of the crew from then on.
Yeah, it seemed like he wasn't. It's like a half measure sort of thing.
And it teased me. It teased heroes like me with the fact that Oda was just gonna make him go away, was gonna kill him off, was gonna do anything. And again, I don't even really dislike Jinbei. I go on about how Jinbei doesn't need to be in the crew. He's excessive. He's gonna suck up screen time. He's definitely the most boring of the crew, I think, at this point.
Well, he's the fattest too. He's just gonna suck up the.
He's gonna suck up all the food.
Time,
you know, it's
all
not
the food
cool.
Too, bro. They can't even do it.
I'll give him this though. There's been one good joke since joining, and I thought it was funny. And actually, it did play off his personality. What was it, a chapter or two ago when the rest of the crew was off partying at the fireworks festival, and he the dad mode guy of the crew is just sitting there being ha ha ha, everyone else went, but I'm being the respectful older gentleman, and I will eat the lovely sushi that you have prepared, chefs. I laughed.
Yes.
You know, I thought,
That was fun. Yeah, when he was the last one left in there. Yeah, that was funny.
I got a giggle out of that. I could appreciate that.
That was kind of. I giggled a bit. Yeah. I thought
Oh
it was
yeah,
pretty
we've
good
got a
job.
full one-man giggle. That is a meeting of the Jinbei fan club. Is going hot right now. They're spiking.
We did it, bro.
Jinbei coin
Like,
is going to
Jinbei-
the moon.
I'd rather, to be honest, I'd rather he was like him and his son, like his son. He was the Sun
The
Pirates.
Sun
right?
Pirates,
Wasn't he?
yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather they were like a
Allies,
Grand Fleet, sort of
right,
member.
right.
Like,
Thank
that
you.
would make more sense to me.
So
but
true,
I, but, I,
so true.
but I like him part of the crew. He's helped Luffy a lot, and I think he holds a lot of the values
Yeah.
and believes in my captain. So
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not against it, but I think Yamato is a way better fit. So
Oh no! I wasn't even gonna ask you about Yamato.
I knew you were gonna
No!
Do not come.
This is a nightmare scenario. So
to be honest, that was kind of bait.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty mid on Yamato too.
Okay.
That was bait. It was bait.
Now, okay, if Jinbei was a little excessive for the crew, I'm like, this Yamato chick who like she just shows up, and we get like a couple of fucking chapters, and she's just inserting herself into the crew. Jeez Louise, man, I'm
He's hot, man. Yamato's hot.
Yamato is Okay, that's true, but I mean, hey, that's just not enough
If
for
we're
me.
we're ranking the members,
I would
off
read
of
Fairy Tale if
fact-
that was my criteria, Jack. I would read Fairy Tale.
Yeah, there's a lot of ass pulls in that, man.
And we need Stonewall Jinbei to regulate and keep her ass out of the crew. It's now that I've accepted Jinbei's finally in the crew. All right, he's the last entry. All right, we're done. We need no more joiners after this point. And
It's so much. There's too many.
and I mean, again, Wano's issue, like too many characters. It's just like Yamato definitely doesn't need to join. I mean, whatever. The way Oda's writing it, it's either that like she's obviously definitely going to join, or this is all some sort of bait. And frankly, it's probably more likely she's going to join. Even though, whatever, I don't think it's necessary. Don't want her to. Again, just because we have too many fucking characters.
Yeah.
It's just exactly what Oda needs to do less of, and it feels like he's just like leaning into continuing to stuff more characters in. And I mean, let's say that Yamato joins, but then like we don't do any more of this like Grand Fleet stuff. Like there's no more side characters. We actually give space more to the main crew. I mean, that'll be better, I guess. But I just think that you just don't need to do that. You
don't need that. You
Yeah.
don't. It's a little excessive. Like,
Yeah.
I'd rather Yamato in the crew than Jinbei because I think her personality jives a lot more with a lot of them. And
I suppose I
you know,
can see that. Yeah.
the character design is great.
I still don't need either of them. We've got too many.
I
She
feel
does
you.
have a great
I
design.
feel-
Yeah.
I'd rather, I hope Green Bull comes in, kills Jinbei, and then we're only left with 10. That would
Now
be
that I
good.
can get behind.
That would be chill. He slaughters Yamato and
Oh,
Jinbei,
that'd be
and they're
base.
left,
Oh,
they're
yeah.
left dead.
I'm
and we're
gonna
like,
come.
"Shit, man, this is crazy. The
That
stakes are
would be
high
great.
again."
I hope that happens. I hope that Green Bull pulls off that maneuver. Yeah, I don't know, man.
I hope.
Frankly, I'd tell you this though, I'm sick of Wano, and I cannot wait to be out of this fucking arc. At the very least, it's been long as shit. Give me that lore dump and get me the fuck out of here. I want
Yeah, I need
adventure.
this lore dump, man. Yeah.
I
need
don't
that
even
shit.
care about the lore dump. I mean, it has to happen. Just crammed into one chapter. Just do it all, and now let's just get past it.
I need that shit though, dude.
Well, of
know.
course it's important. It's essential. It has to happen.
I need them bounties, dude. I need to see where.
Oh,
where
you're
my,
a fucking number boy. Oh, these numbers.
Dude, I like the bounty. I like number
Big
go up, man.
I clapped when I saw big number. I love big number.
I clap when Usopp has bigger bounty than Sanji. Okay, it makes me happy. All right, it makes me happy.
Well, I mean,
Number
the
go up.
character dynamic stuff is perfectly fine. That's all well and good.
Yeah.
But okay, all right. We have to talk about the clown. We have to address the Joker
Ooh.
question.
Ooh, the goat. You're talking about the goat right
The
now?
goat. I'm hinting at the goat. All right. He's a Yonko. How do you feel about that?
I love it.
You love it. Okay.
I love it. I love how it was like foreshadowed in that one volume, like with that.
Oh my
the four of
God!
them.
No, stop right there, Jack. No, it wasn't. Okay, all right. Okay.
Dude, it's literally
It's not
the setup of the
foreshadowed.
panels,
It was
bro.
not foreshadowed. Okay, it was.
What do you mean?
Because people have this mental issue that they can't understand that the man looks back at his old work and he builds from it. I agree. I agree it's a reference. It is clearly a reference. No, foreshadowing implies that he intended it. He did not intend that shit.
I would understand. I think it would make I don't know if it makes sense.
Okay, all right, you know what? I'll give you this.
I don't think it's like out of the realm of possibility that he would have thought that Buggy would become the Yonko.
Okay, you know what? I don't disagree.
He's one of the most
disagree.
Recurring villains, right? Like
right, of course.
From the beginning, he's been throughout like almost the entire series.
Yep.
I think it makes sense. You know, I don't
okay,
think it's like
I won't say that he could have planned it. I could honestly I could see that Oda definitely could have planned to have like Big Mom and Kaido go down at some point. That's definitely possible. And then yeah, like Korma Man, it's true. Like details this big, I actually do think that it's fairly reasonable that Oda. However, this rush to assumption that he definitely did plan it. That's where I'm like, well, let's just slow it down, everybody. Let's not cry Goda, you know, lest we not be believed when it was in fact Acta. We just don't know for sure. But I totally agree. It definitely is a callback. It's perfectly.
Definitely a callback. Well, yeah.
At the very least,
yeah. I just, you know, I think it was planned. You think it was planned
since chapter 1? Is this a chapter 1 situation?
Maybe not chapter 1, but along the way.
Okay.
You could have planned it.
Okay. Well, you're a reasonable man, Jack. So surely you can agree. Surely you can agree that this Buggy situation, it's gotten a little hard to believe. It's gotten like how is this man really holding on to a Yonko position? Considering somebody's got to be trying to fight that, like, and surely it's
all bullshit. It's completely bullshit.
Is it just luck? He's all luck.
I think it's completely bullshit, and it's all influence. That's what I think. It's
well, of course, you're right. Yeah.
Just him building that army from Impel Down. Like
clearly that's what he did, and he parlayed his reputation and all that. Yeah, we haven't seen. I mean, the last time we saw him, he was being chased by a bunch of Marines or whatever, and then now magically he's a Yonko. Clearly something happened. Some people have said like maybe Mihawk joined his crew or some shit, you know.
I'm thinking he just took over the territory, like all the underground stuff that maybe Dofi was doing, because he was I think Buggy's doing a lot of underground trading. If I correct me if I'm wrong.
I mean that certainly seems like something he would do, even if he wasn't necessarily shown.
I don't remember if that's brought up, but I feel like I remember that. But
I mean his business is an underground business, I guess. You know.
So yeah, I guess I maybe took over some clientele or something.
Indeed. Okay. I mean, yeah, that's fair. That's a fair assessment.
I don't know. I don't think it's crazy, but I do think it's hilarious that he is the Yonko. It's pretty great.
I can't disagree. It is a funny meme. It is a funny joke. But I want him to end this madness. End the madness, Oda. If we wrap up One Piece fairly soon, like just within the story, and like, you know, Luffy goes to maybe like Elbaf and then fucking straight to Lodestar Island and then straight to One Piece or whatever. Okay, great. That's fine. But
you know that ain't happening though.
You don't think so? Okay, this gets to my last question. I want to talk about like what do you think's next and how much you think is left?
Dude, I think there's a lot left, to be honest.
I gotta bring up the quote though. Oda said like what was it, like I think it was like 3 or 4. I think it was 3 years ago. He said One Piece has 5 years left. No, I think he was way off. I think he was way off.
When I got into One Piece in 2015, he said the same thing. So
he's as good at sticking to deadlines as best guy ever. It's
crazy, dude.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, when he started One Piece, he said it was gonna be 5 years.
Okay, well, the situation definitely changed from when he first.
Oh yeah, it's for sure. I'll
give him that.
I just think he underestimates like how many loose ends he has to tie up.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think he planned Wano to be nearly this long. I think he just like realized, oh my god, there are so many fucking characters here, and for example, I think that the I have a theory that there was an entire chapter that was cut of like when Zoro fought King. Did you find this weird, Jack? Zoro was fighting King, and then the thing was, Zoro was like, I don't know how to injure this guy. He's like invincible, and I don't understand. And then we cut away to I think Sanji fighting Queen for a bit, and then we cut back. And when we cut back, it is Zoro cutting King, and he's like, I figured it out. I cut him when the fire's gone.
Did that happen? Really? Shit.
I gotta tell you, I've reviewed this in depth. The people are with us, and to me, this screams like a skipped chapter. Like Oda,
Yeah.
he totally skipped and this is the thing. I was really excited to like get like a classic sort of problem-solving Zoro fight, which we got a little bit. It was fucking all hockey and sword lore bullshit, but like Zoro's always had really fun fights. So, like, I mean, of course, there's the fighting with Mr. One, which is a little bit weird, but other fights too. He has to kind of develop a new power. He's got to figure out some way to injure them, and
it's just kind of skipped over.
It totally skipped it. It totally skipped it. We reviewed the tapes. We've looked over the facts, and the evidence points to Hakta on this one.
The evidence, I believe you. I don't. Why would you lie to me?
Why would I lie? Yeah.
Why would you lie? You know, Mr. Peterson.
I would never.
No, I feel you. No, that's.
And
I have to reread Wano though.
Of course, me too. It's been like what, 4 years? 2018 it started or something. So yeah.
No, I tried watching the anime for it just because it was like the art style shifted and
it does look
really
good. The art does
the
look really
pacing's
good.
still Garbo though, so I couldn't.
Yeah.
I couldn't get into it, but it was.
Well,
it looked good.
I brought that up to say, what was I trying to say about Wano based on that fight? That like lots of things were skipped because he had too much to do, so like he had to rush through things. So I happen to think that like the King fight was cut short because of that, which I think is a terrible shame. Like so many of us had been waiting forever for Zoro's big sword fight in Wano. He's just like a samurai. The little known fact. He is very similar, in fact, to a samurai. And, like, he gets kind of a fight with a samurai, like, sort of, and then it just doesn't happen. And then, meanwhile, Luffy loses a fight, like, 5 times in this arc. So we got plenty of time to have him lose. Zoro can't get one full fight. Okay.
Yeah,
anyway.
it was definitely disappointing. There's a lot of things he could have done like way better.
But on that front, as it pertains to like his idea for how to do the next stuff in the series, finish the series. Well, first of all, do you think that Elbaf is a hard lock for an arc, or at least a visit?
I think it's definitely a hard lock for an arc. Or
I
at
think
least
so
a visit.
too. I think so. I think
or maybe like
at least a
gateway
visit,
arc.
like a Zoe style arc. Yeah, at the
a Zoe or
very
something.
least, we need to get a couple chapters.
It's been
on
foreshadowed so fucking hard.
Usopp has to go there for his character. It's essential. And then fucking like the stuff with Loki, the king of the giants or whatever, that needs to happen. So and then I mean I just think it would like it's so this is all headcanon stuff, but a lot of us just think like Oda, we know you're trying to get to the end of One Piece. Make Elbaf the next arc. Have like Usopp stuff happens. Just have the 4th and final Poneglyph be there. You can like do some Shank stuff there. That's all fine. Just like put a bunch of stuff there that you need to do, and then we can move on to like Lodestar Final War. You know,
it's like
makes sense.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was like another crew separation.
Oh God, I hope not. We got so many.
I wouldn't be surprised. There's an admiral on the island. So
but he's a different. I mean, Luffy is arguably stronger than admirals at this point. I mean, I guess that's another question.
I don't want to get into power scaling, bro.
It's essential, man. It's essential.
Are
we supposed to be scared of this admiral or not? That's a power scaling question. I don't know.
I think we should be scared of him.
Okay.
To be honest.
Okay.
Maybe not like.
Are the admirals stronger than the Yonko? Do you think that's
not as much as Kizaru when we were on Shabouti? But
yeah,
like,
of course.
But I think he's still a threat. I don't know if he's stronger than Kaido.
Trafalgar Law the Goat. I cannot tell if you're joking or not. I really can't tell if he's trolling or I'm trolling. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for my clown takes. I apologize.
No, I think it's just I think just the threat of this CP0 there.
Yeah. There's
like
such a threat, Jack. There's such a threat, that CP0.
They've done so much.
All they did is die.
The motherfucker jumped up there. That was amazing.
Dude, I mean, I was saying at the time, I fucking loved. I didn't give a shit. CP0 sucked dick, and they were terrible characters, and they were horrible until when that dude willingly sacrificed his life to.
Well, they haven't done anything. It seems like like pointless to be there. Like,
well, that moment. I mean, I'm gonna give that guy the benefit of the doubt.
Oh, sorry. I think I'm.
Oh no, sorry. I was just saying.
They're sort of like.
Oh, go on, go, Jack.
Yeah, they're sort of just there to relay info, right? Like it's that.
Well, that was true. That was true.
That's all they're there for, and I'm just kind of.
At least that moment fighting Kaido. At least that moment was like a character committed to die So that was a character moment, if not like it wasn't plot relevant because Luffy is the main character and was never gonna die. So that's unfortunate. But that character seems to have legitimately died, as far as we can tell.
Yeah, that was insane.
So that was awesome. I loved that.
No,
moment.
I love that. That was like probably one of the best moments of the
Absolutely. I mean, shit got so real at that moment. Yeah.
No, that I was just saying more of the threat of CP0 just relaying information.
Sure,
towards them.
sure.
Like they don't want it will expose where the Straw Hats are and where they're going to be going.
Yeah.
Like in that sort of way.
Mm-hmm.
They would probably want to separate to sort of spread out the crew maybe. Go to
I suppose. I just think
maybe
should Oda devote more time to. I mean, it's fine if they get to an island and they get split up, and then over the course of that arc they come back together. That's fine. I mean, that's no problem.
That happens all the time. But yeah.
And I mean, I'll also agree with you that like splitting up the crew, I worry about the implications. It's like, are we beginning like another fucking long arc that's gonna build like I just want the adventure arcs back of like the early day, even just a little bit. Like Elbaf would be a perfect adventure arc. We go there, maybe we climb the world tree. Although Luffy can fucking fly now, as can Sanji, and Zoro kind of can too. And so is it even hard to climb a fucking... I don't even... Okay, all right. Well, that aside...
It's like such a doomer, bro.
I'm not a doomer, man. How has... Oda has given such insane power levels to characters like Luffy that I mean, hey, we just learned about Nika. We don't know how the power levels... Every time there's a fight, we have to ask the question, why does he not pull out Nika like now? Why does he not... just fucking use Haki now? Why does he not beat everybody right now, once you introduce these kind of like super high power levels, which at the very least it is definitely Kaido level, and Kaido is like the strongest beast in the world or whatever, so he's
it's why he just has to evaluate just the strength of the other fighter, I would assume, just because it wipes him out for like a literal
that's
week,
true, but I mean I was talking about like adventuring on an island. Like what obstacle can... Well, you know what? I think there are obstacles Oda could add that are even a threat to somebody like Luffy. Like just the ocean itself, currents, storms, things that are like world scale beyond like Luffy's power level. I would appreciate that if Oda just keeps doing that kind of stuff. I want that. Hey, here's a question. Let me ask you this one, Jack. Was Kaido awakened? Was his devil fruit awakened?
I would assume he was.
One would, right? He is Kaido.
I would assume he's Kaido.
But how do we know?
We can't really know, because we didn't really see it before, I think, and it wasn't really discussed, from what I remember, at least.
I mean, let me promise you, it was not discussed, because I was looking for it every chapter. That's you, Animatic. I'm taking your good question. That's a good question. Because the awakening question continues to vex me. Because like this whole arc, or at least it kind of ended with this awakening thing. Surprisingly, with Luffy awakening and being I thought this arc from the beginning was going to be the Zoan arc. Turns out Luffy was that Zoan. I thought it was going to be Chopper's time to shine. Nope.
He be cooking up that vaccine though.
He did. He's cooking that vax. Thanks.
Dr. Fauci, baby.
Appreciate that.
But yeah, no.
I do have autism now, unfortunately, but small price to pay.
It happens.
It happens. It happens.
Jesus Christ.
I was just gonna say, I would have just loved if Oda had just put like one mention and just Kaido says, "Yeah, I'm awakened. Yeah, of course, I'm a really strong Zoan. Of course, I'm awakened. Yeah." And then I don't need to worry. Because he didn't mention it, for so long during Wano, people had all these theories that, like, the awakening is going to happen, and then, like, the raid will fail, for example, is the famous one. And Kaido will, like, come back to... Because, I mean, during Impel Down, when he first learned about Awakened Devil Fruits, it's Awakened Zoans, and they're like, once you beat them, they get back up. And then... I mean, again, Kaido is down right now. Assuming he's not dead or whatever, why couldn't he, if he's awakened, he'll get back up quickly, What's the fucking deal? If Oda wanted us to not overanalyze that, which I hate overanalyzing things, despite evidence to the contrary. Look, I like it when I'm not forced to. Unfortunately, I am forced to,
I see.
What was it?
He's forcing your hand. I understand.
He's forcing my hand.
Forcing your hand. I get it.
If he doesn't want me to obsess, add one fucking panel, one line from Kaido where he's like, Oh, you're awakened? I'm also awakened, of course. Here I go. I'm strong. Done. Easy.
I'm strong. Yeah, no, it could have been easy. No, it's definitely like a mystery that he kind of left in there because
It feels intentional, right? Doesn't it?
Yeah,
It's
none of his powers have really like anything supernatural that a dragon wouldn't
Maybe
have.
that
he has-
fire thing at the end he did. I mean, I
Well,
don't.
it's
We're
like-
just guessing.
It's
but
like a fiery breath.
yeah,
sort of
right. It
thing,
doesn't
right?
seem like it needs to be.
That makes
awakening.
like sense for just like the dragon fruit, right? Like,
Yeah, it does.
he could be awakened, but it
Yeah.
might just be an awakening where he's just stronger. But that is boring.
If so, man, just please mention it one time. Just one. It could be boring. I mean, frankly, Kaido was very boring. He had a boring
was
fruit.
kinda boring.
This is that thing. Because, like, it was this uncomfortable mixture, I feel, of the Kaido stuff with the Wano stuff. Like, Kaido's coolness as a character was like kind of used for like Wano lore points of like the Japan stuff specifically, which is kind of separate from Kaido as a character. So he's the dragon guy. Okay, I get that. But however, Big Mom, by contrast, was able to be like entirely like her own thing, her own arc. So she is like this, like wicked fairy godmother or whatever it is, who literally eats the children and
Eats her children.
eats her own children and fucking cooks them and blah blah blah, all this fucked up stuff. So yeah, I don't know. Just some
No,
disappointment
it was
with that.
definitely disappointing. I liked the sort of dynamic he had with Luffy while he was fighting. I
Oh
just
yeah,
liked
sure.
His
that started to be
nonchalant
good.
attitude, like him being blackout drunk, just sort of like
Everybody loved that. Yep, that was fun.
it was hilarious. I thought it was a good time, but definitely disappointed by he didn't have more like nuance or things going on.
And
his
it just
backstory.
makes me
I really-
wonder in another world where Oda just like the arc wasn't so jam packed, or he just decided to give himself more time. I think we're gonna look back. We might even look back on the entirety of One Piece and just be like, I feel like this arc got rushed, and because of that, Kaido just never really got well developed because this arc was just so fucking packed full of stuff. I don't know.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely something to think about. I feel same with
Yeah.
a lot of Dressrosa. I think that has like the exact same problem, just to
Yeah,
smaller-
of course.
smaller degree.
Mm-hmm.
Just because there's not as many characters.
Hey, let me ask you about a famously often discussed something I bring up a lot when it comes to. In fact, there's two famous things that I bitch and moan about Dressrosa. I'm curious what your thoughts are on both. Okay, one is the more obvious one, or just like the easy one, is that at the end of the arc, like Doflamingo, the puppet master, who controlled like an entire fucking country of people, and during Marineford stopped Diamond Jaws in his tracks, who is like strong enough to throw like a fucking mountain. So that's a strong boy. Doflamingo's
Yes.
power is real strong.
Yes.
So at the end of his fight with Luffy, like, of course, finally, he did the puppeteer thing to try to control Luffy, like, right at the very end of the fight. Now, why didn't he try that sooner? I have no idea. But, okay, he does try it at the end. And then Luffy, I had been asking myself for years, how is Luffy going to counter this power when he finally fights Daffy? I don't know. We'll find out. And then to counter it, he just, like, he does get controlled, but then he just puffs up and like goes gear forth and just like blasts the strings, and we see like a snap as he like breaks them. What's going on there? How did Luffy break away from it, but like nobody else ever had, including like Whitebeard commanders who are like super strong guys? What's the deal? Do you have an explanation for that?
Yeah. Well, do I have an explanation for that? Let me ask. Let me just
Ask the audience.
Let me just ask the audience, guys. Do I have?
He's
any
the chosen
chance
one.
of-
That's how.
Do I have any? Do I have any chance of defending this? Because that seems completely. I would have to reread the chapter myself.
Okay,
to
that's
try and
fine.
Get some sort of resolution from that, but from what you're saying, it's completely, it's bullshit. Luffy willpower. sort of.
Like it seems like Dofi had like total control over the bodies of other characters. So even if you want to say that like Luffy puffing up would break the string, okay, maybe I don't even really understand how that would work, but okay, like literally, how did he control himself to puff up?
Yeah.
In order to do that, was it just inhaling air, which maybe were his lungs not being controlled? I don't understand. I don't know.
Yeah, it would have you would have to see like whatever parts of his body he's controlling. I have no idea.
Oh, I think you were right all along, Jack, because Speedy Junk here says Luffy used the Nika fruit to tune away the strings.
Oh my god, dude!
It all makes sense.
He put the strings.
Chapter 1,
Town.
Luffy Oda knew this is how he was gonna counter it.
Tune him away.
I've got to ask you this, Jack. Do you think, as a lot of people are starting to think now about Luffy's, now that we know he's got like this Nika Tune Force stuff, do you feel that maybe in retrospect, maybe implied all along, that like the gear powers are explained specifically by Luffy being a Toon Man, as opposed to like the more basic explanations that we were given when they like first showed up? Like the whole, he uses Gear Second and we see him like, it's like, how does he do Gear Second? That's kind of illogical. It's like, no. In the series, Lucci clarifies he really is kind of quote-unquote doping by speeding blood around his body. Because there's a theory going around that, like, no, none of that logic actually was the thing going on. It was actually that it was Nika powers that did it. And that he was tapping into them, you know?
Oh.
It actually, more to the point, even beyond Gear Second, people say it never made sense how Gear Third kind of was so powerful, because all Luffy does is fill his arm with air. Why would that make it like so much? It's just a balloon, right? Like actually, in real life, that really wouldn't add that much mass to deal that much more damage, you know? So people now say, what was actually going on there was like Toon logic, and it was sort of supposed to not make sense because it's using, you know, like the literal explanation in universe would be Toon logic.
Toon logic, yeah. Well, Luffy's entire, yeah. I guess you could explain every single, all the gear powers with that.
Go on.
I don't know. There could be some like blood flow sort of things, like powering. It's still rubber at the end of the day, which is not like it probably would pack a punch if it's giant and like you're punching someone. I don't know the logistics of that.
Yeah.
But I think there's a possibility it's not all connected to the Nika stuff.
I'm delighted to hear you say that, Jack. I really am.
I think it's.
Don't you think it would
like
be be less fun, at the very least? And
I
also,
don't think it would be less fun. I think either way, it's still fun. I like the Toon stuff a lot. I just think it fits Luffy's character like so much. I think it's hilarious.
Well, yeah, sure. And I'm not opposing that at the moment. I'm just saying like it's true. I am an ideologue who only wants yes people around me. I can't deny it. And it feels so good. What was I saying? Fucking like Lucci gives an explanation of how Gear Second works when we first see it in Enies Lobby or whatever. And I just feel that, like, I don't know, if Oda were to now say, no, it was actually Toon logic, it's like, well, then why did Lucci explain that? Was it a false flag all along? No, I don't think it was. And also, Luffy really does heat up. His blood really is rushing around his body. Yeah. He clearly is doing that somehow. So, like, why not just say that, yeah, I mean, he was just using, like, before he activated Gear 5th or whatever, he just had basic rubber powers. His body was made of rubber, and he had, actually, let me just to the point, to get to the real heart there. I think I see this distinction that I see people, I think, not tapping into on that subject, which is that, like, there is a distinction between what we as the readers of One Piece understand meta things to be happening. For example, Luffy using Gear Third early on and just getting a big fist filled with air. And yeah, I know air has some mass, doesn't have that much. Like, why would it deal so much more damage to Rob Lucci? Kind of doesn't make sense. But it's like, okay, that is explained by literal, like, Toon logic in a meta sense to us, the reader. We know that if Luffy was a real person doing that, it probably wouldn't really deal that much damage. And Gear Second is also pretty illogical. It doesn't really make sense.
No. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So it was always functioning on Toon logic to an extent. But then this Nika thing gets the Nika thing makes it like, no. This is a new power, effectively, or, you know, it seems to be, that it is a reality warping in context, in the universe. It's a reality warping thing. Characters observe this and note this. Whereas I mean, it gets a little fuzzy because people have said that like Luffy's powers are weird and they kind of don't understand them. But was that like a joke? Was that just to imply mystery about them? Was it to imply that Luffy is a creative fighter, which I would argue that it was, or was it always hinting Nika stuff? And somewhat of a pointless debate, but
I don't
yeah.
I don't think it's always. It's not the Nika stuff, obviously, because he didn't come up with it back then.
Of course, yeah.
Probably.
At the very least, it definitely didn't exist back then. So that's pretty much settles the bait. But people believe, man.
Yeah.
I see them out there. They say chapter
Well,
1.
there's like you go on like the One Piece Reddit, dude.
Ah,
I don't know
yeah.
if you've been on there. That's the funniest place ever. Like, you see the dumbest motherfuckers coming up with these like insane theories. It's
Have you heard
hilarious.
about the 4 gods theory? The 4.
Maybe enlighten me.
So it's off the Skypiea lore of the sun god stuff, and they say, okay, all right, we know that Luffy's the sun god. All right, that's small potatoes. All right, but the Shandians during the Kalgara flashback, they actually talked about 4 gods. One was the sun god, and I think it was like moon, earth, and water, or like something like that. And they're like, okay, that means there's gonna be 4 gods. Blackbeard's gonna be the moon god, and then I don't know, Rokugu is the earth god.
Anaru's gonna be the moon god.
Anaru's the moon god. Yeah, right.
He's on the moon, dude.
See, what I think when I hear that is, Hakta, you've made a mistake. You've opened Pandora's box. Do Toon Force, but this Nika stuff was not necessary. Okay, all right. No need to get into that because I did want to hear your thoughts on like, how do you think Luffy, or how do you think the One Piece story is going to go from here? And specifically, what's your take on like either what One Piece is or like how it's going to end?
How it's gonna end?
Yeah.
There was like, I'm excited to see them go to Elbaf. I hope that's like the next thing they go to,
Me too,
or
me
one
too.
of the other islands they discussed in the Laugh Tale sort of vlogs they did. But about the end of One Piece, I don't know, man. The only theory that I heard before, it's like I always lose like the details of it.
Sure, I might be able to.
But the One Piece is kind of, like I heard this one theory that would like make a lot of sense for most of the characters' dreams. It was like the One Piece is some sort of weapon that would like destroy the Red Line and just sort of open all the seas together, revealing the All Blue. You know, allowing Nami to make a map of the world. And then
and this would probably destroy Fishman Island with that.
Destroying Fishman Island.
Yeah,
It's that sort of thing. I think that is pretty plausible. But that's the only thing I've heard where it makes sense in my head.
I've heard that too. I think it's good. And my little pet theory, I think it's a little likely. I don't think it's necessarily definitely going to happen. But like what One Piece could be is like your entire theory right there. And I know you guys think this is Reddit core. I don't care. I was thinking about this shit before Reddit fucking existed. So, whatever. Or when when Reddit was wearing short pants, I was theorizing about this. That like when the planet is united or whatever, they blow up Marie Joie, they blow up Fishman Island, maybe the Red Line gets blown up too. Like the planet itself, which has never been referred to by name in the entire series, the planet is One Piece. Now it has been made one piece together. I think it's a little clever. I think it's not bad.
I fuck with it.
Yeah, it's not bad. But it's interesting. A lot of us thought like maybe Pluton will be there. And it'll be Pluton that's used, but now we know that Pluton's in Wano as of like one chapter ago. Yeah,
Pluton's here, man.
I don't know, man.
We still gotta see what Pluton is, though.
That is true. Although we do know that it is a ship or weapon that could be built because we know that Frankie had the plans to build Pluton in Water 7. So he could, theoretically he could do it again. So I don't know. There's a theory that like maybe the Sunny is Pluton and they just like, or like part of Pluton or something like that. The Sunny has like features of it. I mean, who knows, man? Who knows?
No, there's a lot of things that could happen. I'm excited to see it. I like the ending of Wano, even if it's a little bit disappointing.
Sure. I'm glad to be done with it. I'm thrilled that it ended.
No, I'm really glad to be done with it. It's too long. It was too long, dude.
This looking back on like this Kaido sequence, there were good parts to it for sure. I just think it was a mistake to just make all these arcs so long. And did you know, by the way, that Oda was saying, I think in an interview recently or something, that he intended for Doflamingo not to have his own arc, but to like be a commander under Kaido. So like,
oh, really?
yeah, that was his. I mean, who knows how long ago that was? It was a while back, clearly.
Yeah.
But it's just I only like that idea because it would just shorten the timeline, and you know I think that this arc kind of dragged longer than it needed to. Zoe was great. Whole Cake Island was great. Even that could, I mean, I don't know.
I think they could have trimmed stuff in.
They definitely could have trimmed some stuff from all these arcs for sure.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Yeah,
There's ambition there, and that's what I like to see.
It's true.
Even if it's not all met.
Okay,
So-
now I've got to ask you about one last thing.
Okay.
Here it
All right.
is. All right. What do you make of that frozen straw hat? Because this is the thing that keeps me up at night.
Yeah.
That Eam was looking at in that
Dude.
basement. What do you make of
I
that?
Dude, it's weird, man.
It's very
it's-
concerning to me.
It's I can understand you're fucking shaking in your boots.
I
dude.
am. I'm quaking.
I have no fucking idea.
It's
it
a little
might
Destiny
mean-
piece, isn't it? A little Destiny
It's a
going
little,
on
it's
there.
it's a little Destiny.
Yeah.
I fuck with a little bit of Destiny, but if that's the whole sort of
Luffy was
uh,
always gonna be the chosen one, Jack.
or the straw hat,
was- yeah, the straw
is
hat.
powerful. I think it might. Maybe it's something like his enemy Roger. Maybe he made something.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I
maybe.
don't know. It could have been down
Roger
there.
was the last giant pirate or something.
That
I don't
that
know.
hat could have only been down there in the Frozen thing for like 1 year since Luffy became famous or whatever. That is possible. I mean,
Yeah.
it is clearly implying that it's like in cold storage, so it probably is actually from like the Void Century. It's probably some Joy Boy stuff. It's probably some Destiny stuff. But maybe. I mean, I'm looking for ways out. You know, I want it to be as little Destiny piece as possible.
To be honest, if Joy
Yeah.
Boy had a straw hat, I wouldn't. You know, it's a little convenient.
It's a little on the nose, isn't it?
It's too on the nose for sure. But
Yeah.
I don't
But
think it's
I
the worst
mean,
thing in the world.
if that's as far as it goes, that they just both had a hat, I could live with that. But also, he just happened to get the fruit. But oh god! And then Shanks gives him the hat because he knew that he ate the fruit, and it's like, oh well, I got to give him
It's
the
not
hat
g-
now.
I-
It's Destiny.
But that's the will of D, man. That's the will of D.
Fuck the Will of D. The Will of D was always a mistake. I've never liked the Will of D. Unironically, it's been.
Why?
It's
What
been,
don't you like about it? There's nothing to it.
because
so
it
far.
stands for Destiny, Jack, and you know this to be true. You know that
And
it's
that's the destiny,
It's
dude.
Destiny. No, okay.
That's
It's
the destiny.
It's probably like Dawn or whatever, something like that, or Devil. I don't know.
Dick,
The
I
Will
don't
of
know.
D has always been like kind of a concerning element, just since like we started to understand its implications. Of like, it's like a clan that opposes the Tenryubito, right? Okay, that's like not that bad. How are giants involved? I don't know. I guess they had a lot of children or something. They bred a lot, or maybe they were like honorary inductees. I don't know. It's going to be explained, I'm sure. It's a little too Destiny-y for my taste. I would prefer Luffy, for example, to just be like some random boy who happens to be the hero of the story, you know? Everything that plays into that, I like. And the things that make it more like Destiny-y, I like less. So I'll give Oda credit. Oda has really made it clear that, like, he's doing this thing that Ace was going to be the chosen one. Ace was the son of Gold Roger. Roger thought he was going to be the one to do it big. Blah, blah, blah. And then Ace died. I really thought that was, well, whatever. I mean, some of this Destiny stuff only happened after Ace died. Okay, whatever. I actually do like that. And I like what Oda is doing with that about, like, he's, like, killing Chosen One stuff. I appreciate that. But
I believe in the Goda. I believe in the Goda.
Yeah. I've got faith, you know.
It's the only religion I believe in, so
I like what he's doing. On the when he gets his adventurous side revved up, like with stuff like Whole Cake Island, I almost always have a really good time. And when we're not really bogged down in like politics stuff of like deep government. I mean, the Tenryubito have like humiliated themselves, and I don't know if I'll ever be able to take them seriously again after this fucking Nika stuff. They've just been proved so incompetent. Like, this fucking lore, I don't know. Some of it isn't their fault. Some of it is the fault of Oda's, you know, writing retcons. Okay, whatever. I'll get past that. I don't know. I have some doubts. I have some fears. The Frozen Hat is concerning. The Joy Boy Destiny stuff is concerning. But Oda is putting enough like good faith bits about like, no, we're not doing Chosen One. That was Ace. Ace died. Luffy's just a kid with the right attitude and the right like willpower, and that's what Shonen's always about. So that's what it's about now, and that's gonna be what we play into. I would like.
There's
that.
like over 20 years of good faith, to be honest. So
just tank the ending. Fuck it.
He's not gonna tank the ending, man.
I hope not.
He'll kill himself, man. It's bad. We don't want that.
I don't want that. I don't want that. It's just here's just my ultimate nightmare, that like all this faith and hope and like mystery. The problem when you're trusting an author for like dozens of years and over like decades with a degree of mystery box, there's always the chance that they actually never had a very good explanation. And I don't think that's very likely. It's always a possibility. And actually, even more likely is Oda has definitely changed his plans, at least to a degree, as the series went on. So, like, he could have changed it to anything, but maybe he heard me on this stream. Oda watches my streams. He listens to them to know what to write next chapter, He doesn't usually listen, but he tries.
Sometimes he'll listen.
Yeah, he of course. He's
gonna kill Yamato and Jinbei soon.
Looking forward to that. That one's, we can credit you on that one, because that was a good idea.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Goda.
But, oh God, where was I going with that? Help me out. Where are we going with that?
You're just the shit.
We were talking about fucking. What, he was gonna listen to me about what? I lost my train of thought. Something about how he planned it since the beginning, but he might have changed.
He might have changed things.
That was the point. That was the point I was getting at. But like, yeah, he might have changed his plans.
Your concern with that. I don't find that like a problem. Just changing how the story
changing
goes.
it of itself to a degree is of course fine, but I mean, if tomorrow Oda wrote a chapter that was Luffy woke up from a dream, everything was a dream since I don't know when he was a child, and he's like, by the way, this is now a cooking manga, I wouldn't be, I don't think, crazy to say, Oda,
it's a bad change.
This was a bad change. I don't like this. So to a lesser degree, if you were to make Luffy just like more and more of a chosen one, as he is leaning on a little bit, not too much yet. He hasn't ruined it yet, but the fruit stuff, the coincidences are kind of piling up. The convenient plot writing, just take it easy on that. Just take it real easy, and just have Luffy go on adventures and win at the end. That's all you need. So a light touch on the Destiny stuff, I think, is all he needs. And as long as he keeps it like vague and kind of ambiguous about like the D stuff, he can even have some answers. It can be tied back to like the Lost Kingdom from the Void Century. That's okay.
It'll be something linked with that.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be anything like insane that'll change the course of things.
I think that's unlikely. Yeah.
He's already introduced so many other aspects that have done that, like the hockey thing, just kind of.
Hockey came out of nowhere, Awakening popped up at a certain point.
Yeah, it's just a lot of things have changed the game.
Indeed.
It's just these certain people have ambition that have a Willa D, and I don't think that's anything crazy. So I'm hoping it's not something that'll drastically change the course of the story.
I think that's likely, and I also have high hopes. Again, been with it a long time. I'm gonna stick with it to the end, even if it went to shit. I'd keep reading it because I just.
Oh yeah, dude, you have to.
I'm in. They've got me.
With a long story, like I read Fairy Tail to the end, bro. Like
I gave up on Fairy Tail.
Dude, well, I was like the second anime I watched.
Oh yeah.
I liked it at first, but then I just
it tanked pretty quickly, I thought.
Oh yeah, no, well, then I got past the parts where it copied One Piece, and then it started to get
right. See, that was its mistake. Stopping copying One Piece.
Stopping copying One Piece. Yeah,
you know what's funny about Fairy Tail? I said from the very chapter, I don't know, 2 or whatever, when we meet the guild, maybe that's in chapter 1. When I was reading that, I was like, from the beginning, I was like, okay, I immediately see a huge problem with the series. There are too many people in this guild. I know they're trying to copy One Piece. I will never care about all these people. So this is like way too much filler. You need to cut this down. And there was the main crew, but the problem was the crew of main guys in the guild was too small. There was only 4 of them, maybe, I don't know, 5 of them or whatever.
Yeah, there's
You need more characters than that, but then you can't make your crew of like 50 people. That's like the entire guild. He fucked himself with that. I wonder if I feel like maybe what's that one with that guy who it's in a series about magic, but he doesn't have magic powers, but then he gets like magic nullification. Black something sword guy. Oh god. The Black Bulls are like the main guy. Black Clover, thank you. Yeah, Black Clover. That's what I'm talking about. Eden Zero does pretty well fixing it. Oh, I'm glad he's learning. Did you read any of Eden Zero, the new one that Fairy Tail Man's doing? Has it got you?
Zero. Sorry, I'm lagging a bit.
Oh,
Sorry,
yeah,
I just
no problem, no
what you
problem.
were saying. But I think I'm back now.
Yeah.
Eden Zero actually got our old channel Jack and Core deleted.
Well, Eden Zero did. Why? What'd you do?
Well, it amounted to Core and I from Jack and Core. Like,
Yeah.
we ran a channel where we reacted to anime and stuff and like shit on it. We
yeah.
it basically, we don't know exactly why it was taken down, but
Okay.
it was like we reacted to the first like couple episodes of Eden Zero.
Yeah.
And we hated it because it was bad.
Naturally.
And shit on it like pretty bad. But
Uh-huh.
it wasn't like anything crazy that we don't usually do.
Okay.
And then they literally like the fans were so angry. They were like commenting like,
Yeah.
we're gonna report this video. We're gonna report this video. Mass reported like the entire channel.
Damn.
And there were so many reports on this video and like subsequent videos
Uh-huh.
that it got the channel like completely deleted.
Holy
And
smokes.
it was for like sexual content or something.
Okay, so something definitely not
Yeah.
accurate to the
But
yeah.
if you go to report a video on YouTube, at least back then, it was like the first option was like sexual content.
Right.
So it was like that's ultimately what it came to. We didn't have the evidence to support that.
Yep.
So it was just kind of that's what it came to.
So did it
but
ever
was-
come back? It just went away and it's
No,
gone?
it deleted. We had like 10K subs.
Ah,
completely
that's
dead.
insane. Is this what led to your further channels though? Spilling the milk and whatnot?
Yeah, well, Milk's doing great. So like,
Yeah.
spilling the milk. Yeah, we made it after like a month afterwards.
Okay, blessing in disguise, at least. I
Yeah, it's a
guess.
blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
It's doing pretty good.
Spilling the
so,
milk is a
you
much
know.
better name than Jack and Core.
Oh yeah, it's much more of a brand. I would
Indeed.
say. But yeah, no, Eden Zero, I hate it mainly because of that.
Right, I get that.
He's like
I
caused
get
me
that.
so much grief, but also I think it's just.
What
a
if
bad
it's
show.
the best series ever and you're just biased? You're missing out. You've been
It was
blinded to true
bad, though.
genius.
It was so bad. It wasn't even like early fairy tale fun.
Yeah.
Like it didn't even have that. And yeah, I
A
don't know.
ringing endorsement. I'll check it out sometime.
Yeah, it sucks. It sucks.
Okay. Oh well, Jack, it's been a lovely talk. I think we can wrap it up. We've been going over 2 hours now, I think.
Holy shit, yeah. Well, it was a great time talking with you, dude.
Thanks, man. Let's do it again. Now that I'm doing this, I was catching up on the SBS and the off weeks. I'm gonna try to get people back more. I mean, I know you got your show, you know. I don't know.
Yeah, that's kind of infrequent, but yeah.
Yeah, sure.
It
Maybe
is.
we some collaborations, man. I don't know. Nate is a
Yeah, I'd be
hater.
down,
True,
yeah.
you know. Very
sure.
true. I hate One Piece. I see nothing redeeming in it whatsoever. I'm here
You're a
to
hater.
poison it for all of you. That's my goal, so that everyone dislikes One Piece.
He's revealing the truth.
That's the truth. I'm revealing all along. You thought I'd eaten the Yeru no Mi. No, it was a mythical Zoan Hito no Mi model guy who actually hates One Piece. That's my true devil fruit. That's why I'm always yelling.
Shit, dude. What a fucking drop, dude.
I know, big
Damn.
lore drop right there. See, I told you,
That's
deep
crazy.
lore analysis, but it's not of One Piece. It's of Talking
It's of
Pirates.
you.
That's
Your
right.
real
That's
life.
right. Jack was a good guest for Nate to shout next to. Very true.
Dude,
very
that's
true.
every podcast I think I've been on with you.
You know, that's just the kind of guy I am. What can I say?
That's
I'm a
just kind
shouty
of
man.
I had a good time. so
I hope that it wasn't too obnoxious. I always like talking with you, Jack. You're a great guy.
No, it's a good time, man.
Hey,
Fuck
did
yeah.
you were at Anime Expo, right? Did you go down? Was you have a good time?
Yeah, it was a crazy time. Yeah, it was a good time.
That's sick.
Just,
That's sick.
Yeah, it was a good time.
People were telling me I should go next year, and I will consider it. I'm gonna try to get
Good.
maybe I'll try to get like a one of those fucking a panel or something. Then they'll pay for my visits.
Oh yeah, maybe you could do that.
I'll look into it.
Figure that shit out. I think there was like a bunch of people that knew that got panels, so I think you'd probably get something.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's good news. All right.
Yeah, like.
Do you think
Briggs,
realistically, with
yeah.
my level of clout, is that something attainable?
Maybe.
That's a maybe.
don't-
Okay,
if
that
you
sounds
get,
like
like, a
it's an
si-
iffy. Yeah.
It's if you have like a signature thing you're trying to go for and it kind of relates to the content you're already.
I
doing,
hate One
think that-
Piece, the panel. That's what I was gonna
Maybe
do.
like I don't know if you know Briggs, like all the anime that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has like a One Piece D&D thing that was pretty big.
One
They-
Piece
they had,
D&D.
like, a big-
Okay, that's cringe. I could definitely do better than that.
I didn't.
One
I,
Piece
yeah,
is
no, you could
terrible
probably-
panel. I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna explain to everyone why they're shilling for Hackta right now, and they need to return to tradition and embrace Goda.
The
And,
Hackta, you're throwing out these Hackta words, and all the fans are like, "What the fuck are you saying?" They're so confused.
They
I
have
would
to
love.
embrace. They have to embrace
I'd go to
the
the.
truth.
I didn't go to any fucking panels, but like,
Oh,
I
yeah?
might go to that one, maybe.
Do you just hang out with friends the whole time?
Yeah, just like partying and.
Oh, that's
hanging,
cool,
meeting
man.
People and stuff. Yeah, no, it was a good time.
Sounds
But
good.
yeah.
Sounds good. All
Fuck
right.
yeah.
Well, sometime we'll have to do it as well.
All right, perfect.
It's been a
All right.
pleasure, man. Thank you so much for coming on. Let's do it again sometime.
All right, perfect. All right,
All right, talk to you later,
Thanks for
man.
having
Bye bye.
peace.
All right, everybody, that does it for this episode. By the way, I hate that guy. Fuck Jack is boy. More like Jack is cringe. Haha, fuck that guy. Got him. Oh, we didn't decide. Go to our Hackta. Oh, okay. We have to do it right now. Okay, well, Jack isn't here to defend himself. All right, was it Goda, or was it Hackta, or was it Jackta? Damn. We've got a lot of Goda going on. I think, damn, I am surprised. People went hard for Goda. I'm giving it to Jackta, boys. You're going into the portals. I'm sorry. It went to Jackta. It was obviously Jackta.
That's pretty good, right?
I'm surprised people didn't go more for Jackta. I think one guy won and like everyone else lost all their stonks. Sorry, guys. Did you win, Captain Squishy? Were you like the one guy? Doubled your bits. Congratulations, everybody. Oh, what do we got? Okay, we'll read this and then we'll head out. I know, I'm just a dirty hater. Oh, God. Surprise quiz. Says based news Morgans for $5. Let me hit the...
Easy money.
Thanks, dude. What are the names and what anime are they from? Okay. Kanji for tall, kanji for tree, koki, and then west, and then kata or way hole, seihole. Shit. It's like I was the biggest winner. I went from 1.7 to 170K. Holy shit.
Easy money.
I'm sorry, a true sages. You lost it all. Ooh, I'm trying to read this. Takaki fucking no, I mean the onyomi form is Kol. I think it's Koki and then like Seihole. All right, base news Morgan, tell us. Give me the answer. Takanishi? Takagi. Takagi. That's got to be Takagi-san, the shy one. Oh, okay. I read it before that. All right. When you give me the Taka, I got that. Now, see, that's a little tricky because that is there's a term for it, but that is the name pronunciation, and I wasn't expecting that. That's a little unusual. When you have two kanji next to each other, they usually use the onyomi pronunciation, but I gotta, hey, for my practical Japanese, I gotta learn this shit. Takagi, that's the Rengaku, so it's Takagi, right? And then Nishi, it's either Nishiho or Nishigata. Nishiho. Shit. Nishikata. What does Nishikata give you? All right, help me out. What's Nishikata reference? I'm not getting this one. Mr. Morgans, if that is your real name. I'm waiting. Takagi Jozu. Oh, he's the other character in Takagi. Okay, so that's his name. All right, see, I never learned the name of the fucking of the other character because I just think, oh, he's the main character. I never learned that sort of self-insert character guy. But he's not even really self-insert, but you know what I mean. Of course, yes. As soon as it was Takagi, I knew it was teasing Takagi. But the other one was, okay, so his name is Nishikata. Okay, got it. West direction and then tall tree. Those are their names. Fascinating. All right, see, I'm learning, people. I'm learning. Double or nothing? Okay, all right, let's go double or nothing. All right, let's do it. Come on. Double or nothing, Morgans. Does this mean you're going to give me $5 more? No, I'll do it. Double or nothing. Let's see if I can get it. If they're basic kanji, I'll probably know their meaning. Even though, I mean, I'm at like, I'm still level 10 on fucking, you know, fucking Wanikani. I'm ready. Hit me with it. I should have said no. I should have said no and ended the stream, but it's too late now. Now I'm in it. I want to know. I'm curious. In the meantime, sound effects.
Yo ho ho, he took a bite of
Nika no me model, the big fucking guy. Okay, you know what? This is taking a little too long. I think I need to just end this nightmare. I think it's time to cut it off.
Pretty good, right?
Oh shit. He actually did give $10. Hey, thanks, buddy.
Easy money!
I didn't expect that. Okay, all right. Let's see what we got here. You guys can see it on screen right here. Okay. Oh lord. Okay, no. Okay. So, Thousand Sky, fucking Forest King, village or rather town. Okay, so it's like Senku. Oh, I think I know this one. And then oh, what's the pronunciation for that? The onyomi is shit. So yeah, this is a very low soundboard stream. Forgive me. Oh, that's two different animes. Okay. I think the top one is Senku, which I'm assuming is Dr. Stone. And then the bottom one is fucking correct? Hey, you see, I got that right, baby. That's what we do here.
I'm the Joker, baby.
Okay, and the bottom one. Oh, geez. Okay, Forest. I don't remember the onyomi. And then King is Ol. Chol. This town. Ol Chol. I think. Michi is the kunyomi. So yeah, it's on Ol Chol. Oh, so Mori. Mori Ol Chol. I know what that is. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, baby, part 4. I know what that shit is. I'm doing it. I did it, Dad. Are you proud? I read it.
Bazinga.
Mori Ocho. I forget how it exactly goes. I got it. Yo, that Forest only has one pronunciation. That did the trick for me. JoJo's part 4. Goda is unbreakable. Very true. All right, I did it. I'm a genius. Thank God. Nate just can't deal with serious writing. He wants everything to be comedic. He is a man-child. Well,
I'm the Joker, baby.
what'd you expect? I become more Japanese every second. My eyes grow larger, the better with which to see the world. I become, wait, this sound effect is relevant. Where is it? No, that's not it.
1776 will commence again.
Isn't it beautiful, boys? The ancient land of Japan. This
All right, go get your Japanese bananas. I'm done. Gotta rest my throat. I'm out of here, everybody. Hey, thanks for stopping by. Wasn't that great? Yo, Jack is Boy is a great guy. He's hilarious. I'm really glad to know the guy. I consider him a friend, you know? We've worked on stuff for years. Really like that guy. I highly recommend you go check out all his stuff. I haven't really watched much Spilling the Milk, which I know is his main thing. I kind of preferred his edited stuff. But hey, man, whatever's working for him, it sounds like they're really popping off over there. So I can't say I don't respect the grind, which I do. But yeah, Jack's always been a great guy. I really like what he does. I was delighted to hear he was a One Piece guy, so I could invite him on. But hey, I'm glad you guys liked him. He's a fun guy. I'm going to invite more guests. And since we're really close to the end of the SBSs, I'm going to just try to get more guests. And I'm going to try to think of just like other stuff we could do. Because I want Talking Pirates to be an every week show. And then I'll just have to bring... Yeah, I should bring Shabes. That's a good idea. I know, we actually got a guest. It actually happened. Can you believe it, boys? Holy smokes, we did it. And I want to bring more, you know? Morge is our white whale. We'll get Morge. He will answer for his crimes. Chapter 1 reread coming next week for sure. All right, everybody, I'm out of here. I'll see you guys. Hey, if you want to stop by the old Kingdom Hearts stream, we just beat the game on Sunday, but there's end game stuff to do. We're gonna get that Ultima weapon. Gonna beat those Coliseum fights, etc., etc. It's gonna be that easy. All right, I'm out of here, everybody. See you next time. Thanks for being here, and hopefully we get a fucking. I know my goodbyes always take forever. They start to say goodbye, and then I think of other stuff I want to say, like right now, for example. Fucking fuck off. All right, I'll see you next time. Bye.